Welcome everyone and thanks for joining. So we'll discuss indexes and then the stock request as usual, and then if there are any queries we'll take along. So we will begin with TSX Index Analysis, and last week we had discussed about stocks on TSX to move up, and the uptrend did happen this week. For the upcoming week, you can see the TSX currently is at 20.029, just just over 20k. The CCI is in overbought region, and if we look it on the weekly chart, it is close to upper Bollinger Band, but it has not touched the 20.2k level. So it could go little further up before it takes a small correction. Vivek sir, would you like to add?
No, I think you're right. But it's just that it is near the all-time high and showing strength. I mean, the volume wise also, I'm not finding the volume dipping. It is still continuing to show the strength. So play cautious and be very, very careful about your positions. Keep taking profits is what I would suggest anybody.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vivek sir, for your input. Now we'll check NDX. NDX, on the other hand, on weekly chart looks stronger. If we look at the indicators, it's still under overbought region. The weekly trend is upward, and if we look on the daily chart, it formed a big green candle on the last session. Um, Prior to that, on Thursday, it gave a dip. It touched the mid Bollinger Band and then got pulled up. And on Friday, it moved further up. Currently, it is at the same level where it faced resistance on Tuesday and Wednesday, uh, on Monday and Tuesday. However, this time looking at the volume, it could break resistance and could move further, which is in line with what we saw on weekly chart that it could move further up. The CCI is almost about to reach the overbought region. So holding positions with trailing stop losses for the stocks on NDX could be a good approach for the coming week. Vivek said, do you have any
No, I
suggestions?
think that covers everything.
Thanks. We'll take QQQ as well. You can expect the similar trend, almost same as NDX. So let's follow the same strategy for the stocks which are on QQQ as well, or if you are holding the index itself. Now we'll just quickly touch Bitcoin just to have a look for those who are trading in cryptocurrencies. Um, we are not specifically analyzing the crypto index. We are following Bitcoin because Bitcoin effectively affects the crypto index because of the market share, and most other altcoins follow the Bitcoin trend. And
Yep. Kamal, I have already analyzed this, so I can share my chart with you.
sure, would you
So,
like to share now?
yeah, you can give me the access.
Sure. Let me give you access. I'll just stop sharing first. Yeah, you can share your
Just
screen now. Yeah.
yeah. So we can see that now the Bitcoin price is trapped in this symmetrical triangle and the volume is dipping. So that is the only concern that is. So we can see that the volume is continuously dipping. So there is a probability that the price may go down if it is not. And again, we see that there is a bearish cross. The 50 EMA, 20 EMA is going down. Now the 20 EMA has crossed the 200 EMA. So the signs for Bitcoin are not looking good. So there is a probability that the price may go down further.
Yeah, I agree with Vivek. If we see on the weekly chart, Vivek, if you could,
Yeah,
Another thing, Vivek, if you realize there is the falling wedge,
yeah,
the triangle, the wedge,
yes.
it can very easily crack down and go down.
Yeah, it is either way. Either it can go up or down. But since the volume is
Yeah,
down, I'm not
yeah, I mean,
anticipating it would
yeah.
go up.
And the trend line also is down now.
Yeah, it is going down.
right. And as
And
per the,
check the candles that are formed. Those are also not promising.
Exactly. Though it's a green doji, but
Yeah.
it's an undecisive market, and
Yes.
volume also is dipping.
Yes. So it's better wait and watch situation. That is what I'm doing, to be honest.
Yes, either wait and watch or liquidate and come into cash and buy at a lower level.
Yeah, I'm sitting on 25% cash from my
Oh,
portfolio.
lovely,
75%
lovely.
is already in because that is
Ah,
anyways long term. So, but yeah, 25% is on cash. And yeah, and what I'm doing is weekly I'm continuing to buy around 25 $50, which is my plan to buy. So
hmm,
that I'm not stopping. I'm just going on with the dollar cost averaging strategy that I'm doing.
lovely,
Yeah,
yeah,
lovely. That is the right approach. Yes.
yeah, that's good. Even I'm mostly on cash, and I'm looking around 29,800, the almost the intersection price of this trend line and uh, this horizontal line which Vivek has
yeah,
drawn,
yeah,
and expecting if it takes a dip, then I, I would enter. So I have already kept a buy limit, and usually on Saturday or Sunday it takes a dip. So
yeah.
if it takes a dip, hope the order executes.
What I have done is I have kept everything in Binance saving. So at least I'm getting 2% on that.
Uh, that's smart.
Okay, I'll stop the sharing then. You can continue.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing.
welcome.
Okay. So we'll now go on to the stocks. We have a long list of stocks requested today. So we'll start with GPR or on TSX and GPL on MX. Though it's a penny stock, I had suggested in the group because of its daily and weekly trend, and that's why Vinith has requested. He has also entered in some quantity. So currently, if we look on the weekly chart, it's in oversold region. It, it is touching the lower Bollinger Band at 0.82, and if you trace back, it was at that price level way back in June, July last year.
Doesn't look like the support has been broken.
If you see, it has gone below support. The high
Yeah,
here, it was 0.83, so almost it has reached that support
yeah,
price. It has gone slightly 1 cent below, and
okay.
so we can hope uh, it
It
gets
could reverse.
yeah.
Yeah, it could either reverse or maybe where is this support here?
So I was looking at this support here,
Yes.
and in
The
fact it has,
previous resistance is now the support.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it has gone below that, 1 cent below. So we can hope it to reverse from here, especially since the indicators are in oversold region, both
Yeah.
both in daily and weekly chart. So his question is about the target price. What should be the target that should be looking? I think he entered around 0.85, 85 cents. So the first target would be at a support here, which is $1. And usually penny stocks they try to reach $1 in order to comply with the listing requirements. Since it's
Even
also
TSA has that compliance requirement.
TSX uh, doesn't have for this kind of stocks, whereas the corresponding stocks on MX it needs to have $1. And
Okay.
if MX reaches $1, it would be around 1.24, 1.24, and that,
Canadian dollars. Yeah.
yeah, and that's why you can see here it was above 1.24. So the first target for GPR would be 1, and the next target would be 1.2, 1.24. And
Kamal, I'm taking a break for 2 minutes.
sure, sure,
Continue.
yeah, sure. So that's for GPR, and if we look GPL, it's currently at 0.68. So first target would be 0.84, 0.85, and as I was saying $1. But you can see upper Bollinger Band is showing 0.97, but it could touch $1. So you can exit some quantity around 0.84, 85, and then hold some quantity for exiting around $1. Those who are holding GPL, and corresponding to the GPL, GPAR prices both would have almost a similar trend. So I can add those entries here later on. Maybe quickly I'll just add for one point, let's say 2, 1.4 for GPL 0.85 and 1, 1.1 in case it goes further up. Next we'll go to Prem's request for T. That's for Tellus or it Tellus, yes.
Yes.
I was just checking whether Prem is there. Okay. So for T Tellus, it has given a breakout last week. Uh,
Yes.
it has gone ahead from its previous resistance, and let's see, I think he would be expecting the target price. I'd entered at 25.9 and it has had rally for few days. He's expecting the target, and the second question is, should he add more since it is on rally? Uh, so my view on this is, at this point, since it is at peak, it's not at a good price to add. However, it's good to exit and take profit in, rather than exiting, um, holding with trailing stop loss. Since on weekly chart also it has given a breakout, so it could reach around 29 or close to $30 before it takes a correction, though it's in overbought region in all three daily, weekly and monthly chart. um, but still it can go at least $1 to $2 further up, considering the uh, trend. And even the last session it has closed up with, look, though the volume has reduced, um, but still there's positivity, and it can go up. Or if uh, you want to play safe, you can sell and take some profit, and then plan to re-enter again around 26.75 or 26.5. Let's see on
What could be the reason that it is rallying? That because if he has seen that could give a better idea, like whether it is going to go ahead or not.
so on second it had this news about approval of some renewal for normal courier issuer bid. Maybe we'll have to read in detail.
Yeah,
Seems this has added confidence in the investors, and it has continued on rally. 4 days back also there was this news.
maybe 2 or 3 sessions it would continue up and then it would start a downward trend and take support on maybe around the previous resistance.
Right, right. So it faced little resistance here at around 27.3, but
Yeah, it has
then broke
broken that.
and then it moved further up. So for now, Prem, if you would like to take profit, that also looks good. Um, but for initial 1 or 2 sessions, maybe better to hold with a trailing stop loss, just in case it goes further up, and you can exit around 28, 29 if it goes there, or the trailing stop loss with the closing price of the previous day. Sorry, open price of the previous day or the closing price of Thursday. That's also around 27.52.
Yeah,
And for re-entry or buying more, it would be better to wait for it to correct, since it has been on rally since first week of April. We can expect it to get resistance and take some correction.
That should be a healthy correction because that will help you to bounce back and go higher up.
So what would be the re-entry price would you would like to suggest?
Ah,
I was thinking maybe this,
take it on the
the
weekly
price around,
chart. Either 27,
hmm,
first weekly re-entry will be at 27, and then at 26.5 or 26.25.
Right. I was also at the same levels.
But 27 is too early. If it corrects, it will correct it further down. So that means 26.25 would
Hmm.
be its re-entry price, which is your 20-day EMA.
Yeah.
Or come down to 25.
25.445.
25 directly because your red candle on 19th of March
Mm-hmm.
is at 25. This one, yeah, this one. 27? No, 20, 19th of March.
On
Oh, yeah, oh, this one.
26th of March.
That's 25. So, because a 10% reduction from the current levels would be around 25. And a 10% correction can be expected anytime,
Mm-hmm.
which is just taking two steps backward for a bigger jump.
Right.
So, which is by 26.25 or 26.30, which is a 20-day EMA, and then at 25 for a major entry.
Okay.
But at 25, you also have your 50 EMA there. Your 50 and 100 EMA also all the same location.
Yeah, almost the same. The lower Bollinger Band and 100 EMA.
Lower Bollinger Band, 50 EMA, 100 EMA is all around the same location. 25 plus and minus 10 cents.
Yeah. 25 and
First buy price 20, yeah, 26, 25 and then 25.
and I'll say 27 with stop loss. Means early entry or
No, you already
buy.
given 27 is too early because already at just a dollar less. So
Yeah.
27 is too early for a re-entry.
Okay.
Well, if it corrects, it will give you at least a 7 to 8% or 10% correction, which is at 26, 25, which is at 20 EMA, and then come down to the next EMA as well as the Bollinger Band, which gives you that leeway.
Right. Right. But since we are looking at the weekly chart, if we see the daily chart,
Yeah,
uh,
26.83.
yeah,
But then there is nothing else giving you a resistance or a support which has been crashed out,
that's true.
which is there at 26, 26.05. It is there,
Mhm.
been tested once and twice, and then it is varying from there. And 26.25 is also happens to be the resistance around 24th of March. To your left, 24th of March. Yes, over here.
Yeah,
To your right,
this one.
red candle, this one.
Yeah.
That was the earlier resistance, which now becomes the support at 26.25 or 26.15, whatever you call it.
Mhm.
So that is where the support comes in. And that is exactly at 50 EMA also.
Right.
On the daily chart also, it is giving you that at 50 EMA at 26.25. Now, your weekly chart gave you the same rate, your daily chart gives you the same rate. So I will not even touch 27 at all. 26.25 is my point for reversal, which is again 10% lower than the peak which it is currently holding.
Got it. So 26.25 or 26.40 is a good re-entry
That's
point.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And target, do you see it can reach around 2930, which I was saying?
Easily, easily. Because now you're into new territory. You take the weekly chart or take a monthly chart and let's see which is the height has reached so far.
This is all-time high.
This is the all-time high.
Yeah.
Take the monthly chart. No, take it monthly.
Yeah, this is on monthly chart. So previous high
No,
was
see,
27.74
which
and
is still the high. So
yes,
it's into new territory.
yes,
It's into new territory. Then in new territory, all you do is you don't you just trail with the previous day low as a stop loss or the mid of the body, high and low, and mid of that. If you want to be a very strong trading stop loss, but I think the low of the previous day is very good.
yeah, when I think so, 27.66. It's just 22 cents low.
Yeah. Or if you want to be even more stronger, lay on that 5 EMA which you are showing. Keep that as the stop loss. It's the same thing, either this way or that way.
Right,
Come to the same figures.
that's correct.
But you must trail this with a very strong stop loss.
Yeah. So I was saying tail with 27.55.
So don't give a value to it. Trail with the previous day low as stop loss
Okay,
or the 5 EMA as stop loss. Don't give a value to it because you're trailing it. Otherwise, in future, somebody will remember reading this, will say that that was the stop loss given to you.
right. Okay, so let's go to GRN, Green Renewables.
Kamal, the all-time high for this is 27.96,
Uh,
which it formed on 18th February 2020.
let's see.
29 point?
27.96
7.96.
When was it?
on 18th Feb 20, yeah, 3rd Feb 2020 or 18th Feb 2020.
Or 1 year back.
Yeah,
This is last year. Okay, and somehow the chart here is showing highest 27.74. Maybe tell us, is it traded in?
Was
TSX.
there a
I'm checking TSX.
Right.
was there a split in the stock or bonuses issued after that?
Yes, we'll look at, let's see, weekly chart. I think this is the point, and on Webull it's showing 27.74. So it's very close.
Yeah, it's very close.
It crossed that price here.
Yes. Yeah, it's 27 point something.
Yeah, 27.74 is what Webull is showing.
Yeah.
Right. So it still has potential to go further up, as Vivek sir also mentioned, as looking at the rally, it may not reach 30, may get resistance very close to that, but still good to hold with a trailing stop loss. Right, so we were discussing about GRN. We started discussion about GRN. Still trading sideways as he entered. His average price is 1.71. Looking to exit from the script. What is the good target? So his average price is 1.71, currently 10 cents down. The 100 EMA is at 1.75, and the mid Bollinger Band on weekly chart is $2. So if we can hold for some time, peak here was 1.92, 2.13. So I think it's still good to hold for some time for exiting close to $2, 1.9 or 2. Though immediately it can reach to 1.75, in which case he would be exiting at minimal profit depending upon how many quantity he has. In terms of trend, whereas B, I think he has seen on the weekly chart and thinks it could drop to 1.45, which is the 50
Why
EMA.
is the volume suddenly dropping, disappearing off in the last how many weeks?
Yeah,
7 weeks, the volume is practically dead.
true.
3 month volume is 677 and current volume is only 178.
Yeah, I think the volume, average volume would have increased because of this rally when it rallied early this year, last December and early
That's a
this
three
year.
month average. Kamal, that's a 3 month average.
We see here. So this 3 months average
It's
is
losing value.
decreasing volume. I mean the sell volume, the average volume
Yes.
would be the sell volume.
Yes.
So it could drop further as well. I think that's the reason he is thinking to exit.
Yeah. Monthly and weekly charts look very weak.
Yeah, and since he's already down, I think it could be better to
The daily
have
chart is
sideways from money.
no. If you look at it, the 5 EMA is planning to cut into 20 EMA, which already it has. Can you zoom in further in the last 5 candles?
Yeah,
Just press on the plus and go further in.
yeah, this is the
On the
max
last
also.
figure, yeah. Further,
This is the max.
max. So that means the 5 is not yet crossing in, but it is on the verge of crossover.
Yeah,
Any green candle further will have a crossover. The 5 is crossing it into 20 and moving up. So crossing from below. So short-term reversal may be seen.
yeah. So I was thinking if he wants to exit, maybe he can target 1.73, 1.75, but at the same time have a stop loss set in case instead of moving up, it drops down. The stop loss at the low of
What is the entry price?
1.71. since his entry point is 1.71,
171.
yeah, if he exits at 1.73 or 1.75, he would be almost break even,
Yeah, at least he has covered his cost.
right?
So the stop should be 1.54
Yeah, I was also looking at that.
or 1.53, which is the 200-day EMA.
But it could possibly get a support at 200 EMA and then move
Yes.
up. So 1.5, but then he would be losing bit
Or he
more.
can buy more at 1.54, and then once it is average, but then no, I don't think it is worth buying because weekly charts are weak.
Right, because as
No,
per
I don't think I would like you to average it over here.
for averaging down, 1.45 would be
Yeah, but then that is breaking out the recent lows. Then I don't want to average it down. Then might as well wait for it to correct and then move up. Then average when it starts moving up.
right. So if it gets support at around 1.45 and reverses up, then he can start averaging down.
Then he can average it. Yes.
So we are not suggesting to exit at this point if it drops. Is that correct?
Yes. Otherwise, if it spikes up, he must keep a system orders for selling it.
Right. 1.75 and 2, at least 1.75 and 2, it can touch if it starts moving up or it spikes up. So what we are saying is buy price is 1.45, the next buy is 1.53, 1.45, and have 2.65. Okay, next OKTA.
I think we are down to a few minutes. I think a few seconds.
Yeah, and then let's disconnect and then connect again.
Yeah.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, so OKTA, again it's also on downtrend, and on the weekly chart the CCI is almost near the oversold region, but it can still drop further. So let's see what could be the good buy price. I'll just add pivots in case it gives. Point 0.95. Previously it got support at this price, which is 207. So it can get support again here. It has tested how many times? Around 210. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10. So around 210 looks to be a strong support on the weekly chart.
Yes.
So this could be a good entry point. 208.9 is what the lower Bollinger Band is indicating. So this looks good to enter this week or around
Almost
two.
immediately.
Yeah, the current price or around
210,
210.
28, 28, 210 to 8 is almost immediate entry.
Right. So this is a good script to settle buy order this week.
Yes.
Even on daily chart, it's in oversold region. So 208.
And it has a good risk reward also. But this is only on Nasdaq. It is not on TSX.
No, no, it's only on
I mean,
Nasdaq.
just if you only Nasdaq.
Yeah,
All right.
but you rightly mentioned it has good return at around 200. Entry at around 200 can easily.
200 to 240 would be give you about a 20% return. The first target is a 20% return.
Right.
One second, there is a gap down on that.
Here, this gap down.
There's a gap down on 26th of May, 26th, 27th of May.
Yeah,
Why? After earnings.
after earnings.
What was the earnings like? Bad, expected or bad? Why did the gap down happen?
Earnings was better than expected.
If the earnings were better, then why did the gap down happen?
Stocks, despite hacking news. This earnings release was on 26th. Oh, loss of CFO. The article has not opened.
Loss of a CFO.
CFO sudden departure.
Oh, it was not a planned departure. That means.
Yeah,
Okay, that's all right. Then all the more reason to buy it.
yeah. There's
All the more reason because the company financials were not yet are not yet bad. They are still sane, and that is the reason why if you realize it did not fall much, it just took its support and it now rally from there. It's
right.
an immediate entry.
Yeah, even as per analysts, it's a strong buy and buy. 23% strong buy, 42%
Yeah.
buy.
So 23 plus 40 is 65. 65 plus 35. You're talking about 100% almost. Talking about holding it. Either hold or buy.
Yeah, the sell or
There is no
underperform
no
is
no, no
zero.
selling at all. Yeah.
Right. So it's a
Good.
good stock.
So thank the CFO who moved out and buy the stock.
Right. And we will thank Prem for bringing this to our notice.
Bring it on notice, yes. But ask Prem to look into DSX stocks also.
Yeah. Okay, and targets. Let's see, target. We already discussed 240, 245 as the first target. In fact, 247.
247.
Yeah,
Yeah.
247, then
247, 280 or
two.
282 and 290, 294.
Nice.
For Monday, not this week. This week will be late for Monday.
Okay.
You may even see your first 10% return by the end of next week.
Yeah,
It
possibly.
could be about 225, 230 by the end of next week.
That's right. That's where the mid Bollinger Band on the daily chart is. Good. Nice find. Thanks, Prem, in advance. Next, we will take INS. Fasad is on call.
Yes, sir.
So you have entered at 39.
Yeah, I thought it was going up, but
That's
it
fine.
started going down.
Mm, it has reached 30. Okay. Uh, So it got support previously around 30, and currently it's at close to 32. So do you think you would like to average down, because the current price or close to 30 would be good to average down? And
Sure, I will. If it is a long term, I had in mind to keep it for a month at least, month and a half.
mhm.
So if there is an indication, then I would do that.
Yeah, if you look here at somewhere last year around this 29-30, it got support and then it moved further up, and currently it is at close to 32. It touched 30.65. So maybe this week, if it the last session it got pulled up from this price. As you can see, the indicators were in oversold region, and since the mark on Friday, many stocks have moved up. So that's how it also got pulled up at 3%. Around 30, 30.5 also I think is good to average down, since your average is 39, and maybe I think you might have to buy equal quantity or around that. Then your average would come close to, let's say if you buy at even at 31, then your average.
Prasad, I have a suggestion for you over here.
Yes, sir.
Prasad?
Yeah,
Yeah, just a piece of suggestion on how to average it. Now you bought it at 39 is what you said,
yeah.
right? Do you have funds available to
Yes, yes.
double buy the quantity?
Yes, I will. Yeah, I
Don't
can.
buy the same quantity, buy double the quantity.
Okay. Okay.
Don't buy the same quantity, buy double the quantity at 30.
Okay.
Right? Now what will happen at 30 is you have got 3 times the quantity and your average price is 33.
Yeah.
Because 39 plus 30 plus 30 is 99 divided by 3 will make it 33. The average price is
Right.
33.
Yeah.
That will very easily cross.
Okay.
So once 33 crosses, then you realize all your 99 shares
Yeah.
are in profit,
Right. Right. I got it. Yeah.
right? So your liquidation of your losses or
Yeah.
squaring of your losses, even
Yeah.
at about 36 previous recent high on the
Right.
25th or 26th of May, this red candle high is also
Right.
36.5. Even if you do 36.5, you will have returned 10%.
Right. Yeah.
You get the idea?
Yeah. Yeah. I got it. Thank
So
you.
I'm doubling my quantity. It's double or quits. I'm doubling the
Yes.
quantity by dropping it to
Yeah.
33 as the average price, getting out at 36.5,
Yeah.
which is very
That
easily possible, which will
say
be in
that's
10% profit,
yeah. Thank you. So it's a very good suggestion. Yeah. And the price is
right?
not high, so I can manage.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
the idea is to liquidate your losses and convert them to profits as soon as possible.
Sure. Thank you.
That is why
Thank you.
I asked
That's
you straight. If fund is not an issue,
yeah.
buy double.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Hmm.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks.
Welcome, welcome.
Okay, and for someone to enter new also, I think it's at good price.
Yes. At 30, it's a very good bargain.
Yeah,
31, 30 also, even 31 or even 30, it's a good price to buy.
right. 29.8. So that I'll say 30 or 31 is also 31.5. Currently it's at
Yeah,
31.9. Yeah. Again, this is also good to enter at the start of week.
yeah.
Thanks for Sahat. And we'll just quickly check the targets. Since 100 EMA, 200 EMA, and upper Bollinger Band all are almost merging near 37.8, 37.83, 38. So it can easily reach 38. Yes.
40 would be the first target on a weekly basis.
Okay,
40 or 41.
41. I was little conservative in saying 37.8.
No, even that is good.
Yeah,
Even 37 at immediate target is 20% returns
yeah,
from the current value of
right.
30.
That's right.
Almost 15% returns, if not 20. From 30, it becomes 20%. From 32, it becomes 15%.
Right. So
So
41.
38 would be a first target, 41, 20, 25 second target, and 50 could be a third target.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just taking a pictorial targets.
Yeah, 41 and
41, 25, and 50. Or 41 and 50 is also fine.
right. Thank you, Vivek sir. And next we'll
Welcome.
next
And next. ST.
Gold.
Fasad, are you in US or are you in Canada?
I'm in Canada, Gati sir.
But you're picking up all the Nasdaq stocks.
Yeah, these days, you know, I'm working more on those stocks.
In those
Uh,
stocks. But you're trading through Wealthsimple or trading through some other broker?
I'm working with, as you suggested earlier, interactive brokers.
Interactive
Uh,
brokers. Okay,
yeah,
then it is fine because Wealthsimple will be charging you too much for trading on
G.
Nasdaq.
Yes, yes, that's true.
Right.
NXT,
Yes.
NXT,
So
NXT.
it's on downtrend, and though on daily chart it's near lower Bollinger Band, but on weekly chart it can still drop further, at least till it touches the mid Bollinger Band. So we, I can say to wait for it to watch and see whether it gets support at the mid Bollinger Band price of 41.7 or 42, 142. It could get a support around this price since there's a support here. Previously, in end of March and start of April, it got support and then moved further up. So for now, it should be in watch list and see whether it gets support here. Even on daily chart, it has not reached the oversold region. And if the sell volume is higher, then it could drop down further as well. And the next support would be around close to 125, which is very much near the 50 EMA on the weekly chart. Vivek, do you agree?
On a weekly chart, is showing me consolidation.
Yeah.
Can you zoom out to see a larger duration, larger period?
So it formed a
You just
all-time high.
press the minus. I want to see a larger period of chart candle. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's near its all-time high or near the highs.
Yeah, it formed an all-time high and then is trading
Yeah, so
sideways.
that means it is near the all-time high just now.
Yeah.
163 was the all-time high. Is at 150. It's a $10, $13 away from all-time high. What you see on the weekly chart now you zoom in. You can see the last 4 5 weeks. It's all consolidating into one narrow range
Yeah.
of about 140, 145 and above. Zoom in further zoom in. Right? So 145 is the consolidation. It's almost consolidating. Consolidating for how long? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 9 to 10 weeks of consolidation of about 145 and above.
Yeah.
Go further up in the chart. So you see the lower band is at around 145, 142, 145. Go further up, slightly further. Forget the green candle. Forget the green candle. 1, 2, 3,
This one?
4, 5, 6, 7. Take the last 7 candles only. The candle on first week of May. The low of that. First week of May to your right. To your right. Yeah. There's red doji candle.
Mm-hmm.
142.61. That is a low.
Yeah.
Right? So it is consolidating. Even here, it is showing you about 7 weeks of consolidation, 7 to 8 weeks of consolidation at 142, 145 and above. But the close has been above 147 on all 7 weeks. 8 weeks, sorry, on all 8 weeks, last 8 weeks, it's been 147 and above, close, and you are at 148. So this is a consolidation happening for it to bounce and go rally up further. Now the high was 163, a 10% reduction of 163, 1 point, how much, $16?
Yeah, around 148, 147.
That is exactly where it is consolidating at. At 147, it is consolidating and letting you go up. So if you're getting it at 145, enter in at 145 with a stop of about 140 or with a stop of about, what is the low you're just checking on the big red candle? Yeah, this red candle,
It's
135.
Yeah.
So enter at about 145 with a stop of 135 for a target of about 180 and above. Because it is consolidating over here. That is the reason why.
147 you said, Vivek sir?
Buy price of 145,
145.
stop of 135,
And target
target was about 180. First target 165 or 163, second target 180. And then trail after that. Or after 163, you can start trailing.
Mhm.
Last price is 148, if I'm not mistaken, 148.65.
148.50.
148.50.
Yeah.
50. And 145 it is touching. Not that it is not touching. Or else you can buy it at 147.
Yeah, this is what I was also thinking. 142. 142, 141.7
No, 140.
for
Oh, you
buy.
want to buy the second lower price? ठीक है. Yeah. ठीक है. 142. Then your buy price is 145, 146 in between these two, in this range, because it touches 140. It is not going at 145, it's reversing at 145.50,
Mhm.
146.
Okay.
Anything in between this.
So I think even this could reach the buy price this week, possibly. Or some,
Come again?
even this could reach the buy price this week.
Of course, yeah, of course. And even your 20 EMA is at 140, 170.
Yeah,
That is a weekly EMA.
right.
Daily EMA,
Daily EMA, it was at this 147.6.
149.
The 5 EMA, okay. 5 EMA is
Yeah.
cutting the
No,
20
5
EMA
EMA is
is
that he
almost,
is coming down.
yeah, it's
He's coming
almost
down, so that is weakness.
correct.
That is weakness. But then that weakness is very clear for the last 8 weeks or 9 weeks. He is not letting it fall below 141.
Yeah, it gets pulled up.
So it will get pulled up very immediately. At 145, it is getting pulled up immediately.
Hi Tahir, would you like to add anything?
So yeah, I think that's fine. 142 seems to be a reasonable price for the re-entry. Yeah, and nothing much to add other than what we have discussed. I agree to that. Makes sense. 142, yeah. This should be the again second level price at 145 shows the first support level. Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Great. Thanks. So we will take request from Nick. He has requested for
Shop
short,
and there's Tesla.
yeah, shop
Yeah.
Tesla and NVDA, looking for price action. Are these currently at buy? Let's start with shop, TSC. I think we had discussed last week about it going on correction, and it has
Yes.
dropped, and we can expect it to drop little further uh, and get support. Even at this price it has a small support, but a better buying
But
price
it
would,
will not last longer. This is like this support previously like was not honored. If you go back,
yeah, so here it had
the
dropped.
same one also, it's normally not honored. So I think our stance, at least my stance, is the same as we discussed last week, that it will go back again towards the level of 1300, 1350, or maybe like 1250. So that should be a good buying price. At this price, it will be very risky, and then you might end up, doing the average.
Average,
So
yes,
averaging the stock, and then that will be like your only option left when you have bought the quantity at 1450, and then now it's at 1350 or 1300. Then this is the bottom of this stock, and then for sure you're gonna average it out. So I think we should wait, because if we go back 5 days back, uh, the last week when we talked about what was the price, the 28. So at this point, we said the stock will go down, and since that date, it has gone down. All candles are red, dodgy candle, and sometimes a big red candle. And the last day candle, Friday candle, also you can see it's a dodgy candle. So it's not encouraging. You look at the volumes. Volumes are constantly going down. The price is going down. The volume is going down. So I think all the indicators are indicating that it has started its correction or a downward trend. So wait and watch strategy should be fine. So you might have to wait for another week and a half, or like 2 weeks time. After a week time, then you might see the stock is getting attractive. So more week and a half, or it's like 2 weeks time, you have to wait. So strategy here should be wait and watch till it reaches its support level of 1300, 1350, 1250. These are three levels where you can start buying your quantities.
true. Yeah, this buy range of 1325 to 1250, 1255 would be a
Yeah.
good buy range.
Yes, but if you're waiting just for 1250 and it just touches 1255 and bounces back, then you will lose.
Yeah, yeah,
So keep that thing in mind. Sometimes you miss the stock by just $1, $1. So keep that in mind. 1300 below is safe.
correct. Yeah, so
Yes, like Kamal and me both have missed it on one occasion
Yeah, I
by
know.
just a whisker.
very
I
Yeah, you
missed it
nice.
by
guys.
$1.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. It happens.
And especially with
Yeah.
shop, once it is in this oversold region,
Mhm.
it gets pulled up.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
gets pulled very fast.
Yeah,
Yes. You see, if it is coming down in 2.5 weeks and going up in a week and a half, there's a 1 week
Yes.
difference.
yeah. So this
It's
is
a
a
wonderful
for swing trade.
play of levels.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have been noticing it for like for many months. Whenever it goes down, I get into it. I get a little bit big quantity, and then when it goes up, I sell it off. I don't, and sometimes I
Absolutely.
don't even wait for the highest level of resistance. Like previously, it was 1650. Last time it
Yes.
didn't reach 1650. It was like 1550. So
Yeah.
1500 plus, I will consider selling it off.
yeah.
Very true.
And 150, $200 it can easily give, even if we don't buy at the lowest and sell at the highest. Even if we buy
Yeah,
near the lowest and sell near the
near the height, exactly.
yeah.
So, guys, one thing is important here. Like, for example, if a stock is moving up, let's say from $10 to $13, so this is a stock movement of from 10 to 13. The gain is like 30%, but you can never ever have this 30%. This will be like very, very ideal situation. It's not possible that you will get the stock exactly at 10 and you will sell it off at 13 before it started its downward journey. You will be buying around 10.5, 10.8, and then selling around 12.5, 12.8. So you cannot take that 100% thing. So if you are getting like 60%, 70% or most out of that trade, this is a successful trade. For 100% is never achieved. It's an ideal situation. It lies only in the books, not in practice. So if you can get the maximum of that range, maximum of that opportunity, this is a successful trade. So like for example, in this shop, if 1250 you're aiming for 1250 and bounces back from 1255, then you will lose some of the chunk and then you will then end up buying again at some higher level. So the strategy should be start buying gradually on each dip, so you have a good average price. 1300, start buying from 1300, if not from 1350. So 1300, start buying it and then start selling it off at first near to first resistance level. And even if it goes up after you have sold it off, so don't worry about that, it happens. So that should be a successful trader strategy. Even if, for example, in any case you bought at very minimum and sold at very very highest price, but that's not a normal practice for a successful trader, because in this case, for example, out of 10 cases you will win 2 cases and 8 cases you will lose if you follow this strategy, that you will sell only at the maximum price. Then a time will come that you will not be able to sell it off and stock fell down very sharply and you lost your profits. So that shouldn't be the strategy. So in this case, you might be winning like 2 out of 10, like maybe sometimes 1 out of 10, but you're losing on the other side. So that should be kept in mind. Yes, over to Kamal.
Yeah,
Very true.
agree with Tahir. So a stock like uh, shop can easily give you 100 200 $150 to $100 profit, even if you don't aim to get the
Yeah.
100% of that um, range. And the reason why Tahir is suggesting to start buying around 1300 is we have confidence in the stock like shop that it will, once it starts going up, it is easily going to cross 1300 and will reach its upper price above 1400 or 1500. So averaging down for a stock like this is not a risk based on our experience. Even I have traded on Shopify, taken swing trades, been over 2 years. It's just a matter of holding it for some time and you would be able to get the profitable return from shop, right? And I think Nick would be trading on Nasdaq, but it's a similar trend, just the price range would be slightly different. So if you are trading on Nasdaq, by around 1100, 1100 to 1000 could be your buying range for a target above 1250.
Yeah, exactly. This should be the case. Both go in the same direction. But if you have a stock, you have an account in Nasdaq, I mean the US dollar account. So I prefer you buy the stock from Nasdaq, not from TSX, because there's a slight gain. I would say an arbitrage gain sort of thing in Nasdaq. It like 0.5% to 1% sometimes. It is always on the higher side, and Nasdaq went. But it's not recommended you buy from a Canadian account to a US dollar account. I mean, from Canadian dollar account to Nasdaq account, because all the gain will be taken over by the foreign forex. So not recommended that way. But if you deal only in US account, dollar account, so go for that.
Right.
We can move to Tesla.
Yeah. Tesla. Tesla, it was on downtrend and had some bad news because of which it sell off more than 5% on Thursday. Then on last session, it gained strength and moved up. It recovered the sell off that had happened on Thursday, almost reached the same price levels. If we look at the aftermarket, um, so from the indicators as well, it looks to have reversed the trend and currently touching the mid Bollinger Band. If you look at the weekly chart, um, it has potential to go further close to 700 if you are okay to hold. It's just that it formed a red candle. The volume was comparatively less, so that's a good thing. If you have entered under 600, I think it would be good to hold for at least the first target of 650 and then the next target of 700 in the short term. Tahir, what's your opinion on Tesla?
Yeah, I think absolutely you're right. So this was in a downtrend. So the last day's candle is important when it formed a green candle and seems that it has taken a support from here and will start moving up. So the next day we keep on going. If it's following same trend, it should be going up and will continue its uptrend. But the important thing here is the resistance, the psychological resistance at 600 level. So if it breaks that, this is very important. So if it is broken, then it will be safe around till 630. So 630, it can reach up 630 easily if in the first hour of trading it stays above 600. And this should be easy. If not, then it will fall back again to its previous levels. I mean the 550s something. So 550s will be again your buying area if it's not sustaining 600. So 600 has always been a psychological sort of support. 600, 700. So these sort of things are always a psychological, not support, sorry, psychological resistances. So this should be kept in mind. If you are trying to Yeah, sorry. So if you are trying to buy this stock, so you have to wait and see if it is crossing 600 plus and stays there, or then alternatively buy it around 550. The selling, if you're buying at 550, the selling will be around 600, and if you're buying at 605, 603 with a view that it is sustaining 600 level, then it
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, I think Tahir was saying,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about Tesla. So if you're buying around 550, 600 will be a target, or if you're buying around 603, 604 with a view that it is sustaining 600 levels, then the first sell area that you might notice will be around 630 to 650. If 630, it might show a little bit resistance, then the next level coming up will be 650. If you want to have a quick in and out to 630, aim at 630 and then buy back again, or you can hold a little bit for 650. So these are the two levels that you will be looking for in Tesla.
Right. So Nick is on call. Do you have any questions for Shop or Tesla?
Hi guys. Good morning. Don't want to prolong the meeting too much, so that's why I was just staying quiet and just watching it on YouTube. But very interesting analysis. And just to add that I do have all of these stocks that I've asked about. Like I might have just exited a day or two ago, and I want to jump back in. So that's pretty much what it is. I've got Tesla at 680 cost, Shopify at 1220 or 1230 in Nasdaq. So so the reason to ask is if I can add more or wait. So yeah, so I'm just listening. Don't have any specific questions. I'll jump back in. Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome, Nick. So from the Tesla point of view, since the chart is open, your cost is around 680. So for sure you need to hold that. And you point about the averaging out. So for average out, just wait and see if it is sustaining 600 level. If not, then you will have a chance to buy around 550. 550s, I mean, somewhere around that. So you just wait how it behaves in the next trading sessions. Either you will get at 550 or 605. Yeah.
Makes sense. Holding a smaller number of shares and then it going down is better than holding more and then letting it go down. So makes sense.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's a free fall sort of thing. And let's open TS Shop as well one more time. Kamal, do you have the Nasdaq one, Nick?
Yeah.
Yes, I've got Nasdaq.
Hey, can you open one more time, please, Kamal?
Yeah. And for Tesla, even I would say for you to wait to average down around 550.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks.
So you're holding it at a price of 1250.
Shopify.
Yeah, 1270 or 1280 something last when we had discussed.
No, those I sold out, and then I think I bought back at 1233 or something.
1233, and now it is like 1205. Okay, it's in the downtrend. So you don't need to buy it again. Don't average it out. Just hold it till it reaches its bottom. There are two ways. Either you can sell it off, but it will be a loss at this moment, but it will release your capital. If your capital is not heavily stuck, then you should wait. And then capital is not an issue. You can inject further capital to average it out. So you should wait till it reaches its bottom.
Sure, makes sense. Yeah.
Like you have either two options. Either the capital is important for you. You can consider releasing your capital at a little loss.
Yeah.
Or if capital is not an issue, so you hold it and average it out when shop reaches its bottom. So you will have a good average price, and then you will sell it off in the next run.
Yeah, I do look at these every day, and sometimes if I see an opportunity, I sell it and then just try and break it back. Sometimes I get it, sometimes it just beats me, and I don't.
Yeah, place an order. Place an order, limit order at or like near to your break-even point. And if it is executed, well and good. If not, then you will buy at the bottom price.
Okay. Thank you.
Most welcome. And the third one was NVDA.
Yeah.
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA.
That is, it's just broken sort of a breakthrough on Friday, $700 and above.
Yeah. Zoom out to see the historical trend.
It is at all-time high, I think.
It's all-time high. Okay, and then every indicators will be like super hot.
Pointing up,
yeah. Okay, in this case, of course, you will be in profits here. So whenever stock is at all-time
this
high,
one I haven't got it. I missed it.
You haven't got it, then don't enter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't enter.
So this is a classic question that I wanted to ask you guys. Now, someone like on this kind of a scenario, someone might say, "Hey, this looks like a breakthrough, and grab it, and this thing is going up to $800." Like so you guys would never advise to buy at this point. It's like
okay, I'll tell you why. At this stage, there is no historical, pattern or a history you can say, and you can tell, okay, this stock can go up to, like, for example, 750 or 800. So there is no historical pattern for this. When we say breakout, yes, this is a breakout, but this is the all-time high breakout. Sometimes there is a breakout at some point, and then it was a previous high formed by the that particular stock. So you can say, okay, it has broken a level of 700. Now the next target is 750, because previously, like, well, let's say 3 months back or 2 months back, it touched
Sure.
750, and it tested that level and fell from there. So you have a strong case to say, okay, 700 crossed, and the next target coming up is like 750.
Sure.
So that happens when you say, okay, this is a breakout, and that will make sense. Here in this case, either it will make you or it will break you.
Sure. Sure.
So if you are like a risky trader,
No, this
you
was just a
can go.
question. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
I really need to get it or something.
So
Just an
oh yeah,
example.
no worries, no worries. So just to your question, like some guys will say, okay, this is a breakout, let's go for it. So in this point, because this is all-time high, this will be like very, very risky.
Sure.
But the more riskier you go, the more you earn. Take the example of AMC, what AMC did in the last 2 days, 3 days. So it gave you 100% return, and it was like there was no historical pattern in that. From 34 around 32, it touched like 71. And
Yeah,
from
it's right
71,
after
then yeah, and
right
the
after the
next day,
earnings, it just
yeah,
went up.
and there was some news as well, and then the next day it was like at the bottom, and then there was a sell-off. Then again there was a buy, and at this point, if someone will say, I want to enter into AMC, that won't be a good idea. Here in this case, when I say it will make you, it will break you, it may happen like from 700, yeah, it reaches to 750 or like
Sure.
800 if there is a strong news. So a quick in and out may be possible with a strict trading stop loss to gain something out of here. But if you are looking to buy something and then hold it, so that can be risky.
Sure. 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 Great.
Yeah, I can add to this. Nvidia is a
Yeah,
semiconductor play, and because there is
sure.
a shortage of semiconductors, this
Hmm.
stock is doing good.
Yeah.
And I guess there is still shortage of semiconductors, and this is the only company which is, I guess, exclusively providing it, and that is the reason that this
Hmm.
stock is just having an upward momentum.
Sure.
Okay, one more thing. Thank you very much for adding this. If we, based on the news and the investors' comments, analysts' comments, and their views, if we plan to enter in this stock or any type of these stocks, what should we do? You have to, let's say you entered 703 and the stock continues its uptrend. Then what will happen? That the day it formed a lower high, you need to exit.
Mm-hmm.
For the
Sure.
703, next closing is 720. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Next is 730.
18.
Very good.
Sure. Sure.
The next day from 730, it gave you a closing of 728. You need to
Mm-hmm.
exit at that point.
Sure.
This
So,
can be the
so
example which Tahir is saying.
yeah. So it
Makes sense.
was in an uptrend. It was going up for like last, I would say, 8-10 sessions. And then here, or one candle before, so this one, at this point, as per what I said, you should exit at this point. Although the next day it was a little surge, okay, because if price became attractive for some of the investors and they jump in, but see what happens the day after. It started
Sure.
a downward journey. So
True.
as
True.
per
True.
this strategy, because you will develop your own set of rules and then you have to follow those rules to be a successful trader.
Sure.
So it was an uptrend. You swinged with the trade. You also enjoyed that rally, that uptrend, and the next day when it formed a red candle, I mean the closing price was less than the closing price of the previous day. You need to exit because this is the indication that rally has now come to an end. So you need
Sure.
to exit.
Sure.
So that's
Awesome.
the exit point. So NVDA, if you want to trade based on all the information and the things that we are hearing from the market, enter in a reasonable quantity, not a big one,
Sure.
and then do a close watch on that.
Sure. Makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also look at the volumes. If the volume starts going down, this is an indication that you might consider it selling. Consider that selling this stock. Now the volumes are consistent. The price
Yes.
range is almost consistent. The shape of the candle seems to be good. There is no upside rejection, no downside rejection. The candle pattern is also good. The next day candle pattern, one other thing that we need to look at is if the candle pattern is like upside rejection. So it means that the market is not accepting the higher price for this stock. That
Right.
upside rejection is also one of the indication that that momentum has weakened. The momentum in
Right.
which the stock was rising up, rising, it has gone down. So this is also one of the indication. But looking at this candle, there is no indication that the momentum has weakened. It is a strong candle. Volumes are consistent. Stock is currently uptrend. It has a potential. It may go up, but we don't have a historical pattern. This is one of the reasons that I'm saying this is risky. But
Sure.
if you can do a very, very tight and close watch on that, so you can enter with a reasonable quantity and then do what I said, like if the day it formed a lower high, and then you need to
Yeah.
exit.
I've tried options for a very quick trade, but lost money left, right, and center in the last 2 weeks.
No
Just a
worries, it
comment,
happens,
but
part
yeah,
of the game.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. We can move on to the next.
Yeah. So next is OIH. Is this the first one? Vank Vector Oil? Nick,
Oh, sorry. Yes.
is this the first one?
OIH? The OIH?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ETF, oil ETF, US,
Right. Yeah,
and it's
I was confirming you are asking analysis for this one. Yeah.
yeah, and you guys can do as much as you can do. I mean, because that's why I've grouped them. OIH and PXT is the same sort of oil sector, and then the next ones are EVs. And however you feel, whatever time you guys have.
Sure. So we'll
And I'll
analyze.
try to ask not too many questions because then it just prolongs for you guys too.
No worries. That's fine. Anyways, we keep our sessions interactive, so people
Sure.
get to learn from whoever asks the
Absolutely.
question, others get to learn. Right. So for OIH, it, as the oil and energy sector has been on uptrend, it's it's clearly evident on this chart. However, the last candle, it's indicating the market has reached its overbought region and could start going down. Um, Although you might be expecting it to reach closer to 250, but it seems looking at the way it has been traded on the last session, it has started getting resistance over here. In aftermarket, it went slightly up, 0.25%, but still looking at this candle, looks the market was indecisive and gave a lower closing compared to the price that it opened.
So
And yeah, Tyre, you were saying something? And on weekly chart, it
Yeah.
has uh, given a breakout from the previous resistance, and that's why it reached closer to 248. 248, 250 could be the high you can expect, and then it can go on correction. And that correction could be up to the previous resistance, so it can drop around 225 or even lower. So if
Yeah, Carl, can you zoom out? Zoom out to see the previous
yeah, so it has
resistance.
broken that resistance. So the previous resistance was at around 225, though it's not at all-time
Mhm.
high. And
Yeah, we have previous history.
yeah,
Okay, go back to
daily chart.
daily chart. Okay, here it's a little bit tricky because the shape of the candle is not encouraging. It's like a sort of like a dodgy candle, which is just like an excessive candle. So we have to wait for another day confirmation to see where the stock is moving. Although it has given a breakout, the breakout level. What was the breakout level, Kamal?
225.
225 was a breakout, and after the breakout has given $20 gain as well. So now at this point maybe there is a sell off, because volumes are also indicating so that the volume is going down. So to after a breakout it has already gone up for $20, and now a dodgy candle. So next 2-3 days will be important for this to see where the stock is going, either consolidating or continuing its upward journey. So I would say wait for the
With
next
this,
next session.
with this right now, the oil is at a very
High price.
at such a juncture that it's like touching $70. So there's a huge sentiment that's connected to $70. If it crosses $70 for whatever reason, it might not. It might just because it's been going up, up and up. So it might come down by a buck or two, and then things will settle in this and as well as other oil stocks. So it all depends, but it should be consolidating here. I mean, whatever you call that, consolidating and coming down a little bit. I'm not very good with technical
No, it's
names.
good. Yeah, it's good to have a discussion. So that is one of the reason maybe that this stock is now the shape of the candle is also indicating the same, that this is like a dodgy candle, which means there's indifference in the market where where the stock price will go. So maybe wait and watch will be a good strategy here.
Sure.
Yeah, or if you are holding, I would say to sell in some quantity, partially exit so that you take.
I was holding nicely, and then I got stopped out at 205, and then I bought another one and sold it at 223. And so I've been, hitting myself in the last few days. But yeah, I'm always keeping an eye on this one.
That's good. Okay.
This guy had touched $80-$90 back in April May of 2020, with the oil price almost nil. It touched zero.
Okay. Last year around this year. So if we 48, it had crashed to 48.62
Yeah,
under
yeah.
50. But as you mentioned, the oil and energy has been rallying for some time. So at the current price, though it's not at peak, 175 was high. So for this, you can still expect possibly it might make another attempt to cross or reach close to 175. But again, this red candle is again showing weakness. So
You mean 275, right?
175 for 175.37 was the high on 10th of May,
Oh, okay, okay.
and it is almost at the same level. If you see, the closing was lower than the closing was almost the same, 170. So if you are holding, maybe you can hold this with stop loss, trailing stop loss. Uh, it, at 170, it seems to be getting resistance. Even on the weekly chart, it has touched 170 almost three times. 169.49. Here it gave a closing at 170. Again, closing at 170. If it breaks, then it can go for another $5 to $9, since it's the third instance that it is at this price level. Um, that's why it would be safer to hold this with trailing stop loss if you are still planning to hold
Sure.
this.
No, just trying to get back in at some point.
Okay, for getting back in, then better to wait for it to take a small correction. Probably might fall back to around 157, 160 here. The resistance for this is at the current level, which means uh, if it takes correction, it can drop down easily drop down to close to 160.
Right.
So around 155, 160 could be a re-entry price, or if you want to, if it takes a correction in higher volume, the sell-off volume is higher, then it can drop down further and close to 150. So which will be around
Sure.
$20 drop from the current price.
Yes, sir.
Tahir or Vivek sir, would you like to add anything?
I'm good with this, unless Vivek has to mention something, or we can move on to the next one then.
No, I think it's good. And so far,
Yeah.
so good.
Great.
Great.
So I think we can move on to the next.
Yeah, so we'll come, maybe this we can check offline some of the mid cap and large cap stocks. Once we analyze the stocks which are requested, we anyways get some of the stocks which we can enter, like we found this
Absolutely.
OKTA. So maybe this might get answered once we cover analysis of most of the stocks. We might not be able to finish analysis during the call. Offline, we'll do analysis and share the price levels by tomorrow. So said that, let's take FCEL. Sidra had requested in the group. And Nasdaq. Yes, Vivek sir, would you like to say something? It looks to be going downtrend. It has touched its resistance price of 10, but could get a support at this 5 EMA and move little further up to 11.25. Since there was resistance here, I think, yeah, there's a resistance at 12.25. Since it has taken small correction with less volume, it could get support at the 5 EMA price and move further up. And I'm looking at this because this 5 EMA has flattened out, and in last two sessions it has got support at the 5 EMA price.
Last 1 week, 5 sessions, not 4 or 3, 5 sessions, that is consolidating. The 5 EMA is gaining strength, which is why it is flattening. The volume is decreasing, so getting ready for a spike up. It's close, it's already crossed its 20 EMA. It's on the verge of crossing over the 50 and the 100 EMA. 50 EMA is at 1042.
Yeah,
Currently, you're at 10. And 1042 has been tested on the last, I think, 2 or 3 occasions.
yeah,
So
1043.
if it crosses 1042 convincingly, your upper targets, the breakout will happen. The Bollinger Band, upper Bollinger Band has started moving up. The mid Bollinger Band has curved up. The lower Bollinger Band has also curved up. So an upward trend has already started.
Sir, the last two candles are not good. They are forming lower highs.
Yeah, that is consolidation. They are forming lower highs, but are they falling?
No.
What
But
about the low, what
if we
about the lower
see
lows?
from
What are the
if
lower
we
lows?
if we see from this 6.420, from this range till the last session, we can see that the volume is going down and the price is going up. So that is a divergence.
Yes. Volume going down, price going up.
Yeah.
The higher lows are being maintained.
So if you look at the lower prices,
So higher lows are being maintained. That means price is consolidating,
Yeah.
right? Getting ready for a spike up. Number one. Number two, your EMA 5 has just crossed over EMA 20 on the 25th of last month. EMA 50, EMA 100 is just round the corner. So I am expecting it to, if it crosses 1042 on a closing basis, so if it closes above 10.45 or 10.5 on a closing basis, upper targets are immediately available to you.
Yeah, I think
That means
the
it's
VIX.
it's on a breakout.
Yeah, the VIX point is, I think, the shape of the candle itself, ups with the upside rejection. So, but as you mentioned, if it crosses this level of 10.49, where it is getting rejected, or 10.5, so this, if this is broken, then it will open up for the next target of around 11, where we are pointing out. So there is upside rejection, fine, but at the flip side, there is support as well. It's not falling below 9.9, so sort of like a consolidation, or it's going trading in a range from 9.9 to like 10.5. So it's moving sideways, as we mentioned, consolidation. So upside rejection, yes, but on the other side, it's getting a support and not falling below. So at this point of time, if it crosses like 10.5, it will open up again for the further next target.
Right.
Also, the Bollinger Band rules is very clearly saying all the three Bollinger Bands, the upper, mid, and lower, have all turned up.
Yeah, the volume is a little bit important here. The volume needs to go up. So up high volumes, or like I would say, the increasing volumes with better candle shape pattern will further confirm this move.
Right. So if
Personally, if you ask me, my gut feeling, Monday or Tuesday, you should see a high volume green candle.
Yeah, I think
right,
we can also not ignore the fact that Vivek has mentioned about this, the divergence thing. So the volume is important and the shape of the candle is important. So next day, I mean, the next trading sessions will be like important uh, for the investors to see where the stock is moving. But more likely it will be, as indicated by the other patterns, by the other indicators. More likely we will see the stock going up. So if we go back and see when the stock was consolidated last time and how it moved, although it can move in either direction after consolidation, up or down, and it will also have the impact of the overall market. If the overall market is like going up, then it will take the same impact.
yeah, so previously around end of April, it consolidated and it dropped. And however,
Just very
No,
small consolidation
this
that's
is a
point
wrong
here.
consolidation. This is a wrong consolidation you're watching because the EMA 5 is below the EMA 20.
yeah,
You look at crossover, earlier crossover of 5 and 20.
right. So I was also saying that this is a
And
downward
here
trend.
the lower low, it is higher lows. I'm not looking at the higher tops, I'm looking at higher lows.
Right. Um there was similar over here in which it
Go much to
crossed.
your left. No, hardly working, but then suddenly becomes very small. Sometime around November of last year. November last year. Sorry, November 19. November 19.
November 19. Okay.
Or November 20, yeah.
That was
Early
November 19.
November.
Yeah.
Earlier than this,
So earlier than this, it was at way lesser price.
it was a penny stock around that time.
Yeah. So I think for this one, it would be better to hold with a stop loss, maybe expecting it to move further up. But if it doesn't, the stop loss at around 9.4, which is much lower than the 5 EMA. Expecting it
Yes, that
to,
could also be worked out.
yeah, expecting it to move further up, but in case it drops, then the stop loss would uh, help to save some loss and then
Yes,
re-enter.
that could also be worked out.
Yeah. If it moves
Around
further up,
9.3
yeah,
or 9.2.
I think the earning is next week.
earning is on 10th. Yes,
10th of June.
Yeah, so that might be the reason investors are not confident what is going to happen.
Yeah,
so
it may
let's
be.
see how much is the predicted. The previous earnings was much lower than what was predicted, minus 0.05.
Prediction is like almost constant, like zero
Yeah,
point zero 0.04, 0.04, and like a little bit like 0.05, much a little bit more loss, and they reported even the greater loss. So not very encouraging.
yeah. So I think for now maybe we can say to hold with a stop loss at around 9.3, and if it moves up, a target of 11.25, and then re-enter around 6.75. Let me see on the weekly chart. 6.75 or 7.5 could be re-entry. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think it should be fine. We can move on to the next.
Yeah. So we'll see stop loss at 7 9.3. Yes. So next is Levy. It's on NYSE again. It has been on downtrend, touching its lower Bollinger Band. The indicators showing it's in over sold region, but on weekly chart it has not touched the mid Bollinger Band level, which is also looks to be the support. So an entry at around 25 where it can get support, which was its previous resistance 27.5, 27, 27.7 was a previous resistance close to 25. But there is a small gap up here at this price level, and the 100 EMA is at 27.17. So I think an entry between 25 to 26 could be good this coming week.
Yeah, 25 to 26, or the other way to look at is to wait for one green candle, although you will miss maybe little part of the profit, but it will be more like a confirmation since it is going down, and it may go little bit further down. If we look at the support level, what is the support coming here? A
The,
stronger one, 26.25.
this one,
Yeah, what is the support here? Let's
20,
go a little down.
yeah, this
The
was
second
20,
one,
and the below than that is 20, again 20,
25.
0.25.
Yeah, this one will be the more like more stronger support rather than the one which is which we have right now. We have like two things here. If this support is honored, which I see that it will be because there is downside price rejection. So next day, if it is trading above this level, it is, I mean, it is staying green, then it is more likely that it has taken this support because there was a downside price rejection on the previous session. So this can be an entry point when the stock is in the first hour of trading, it is like trading in green zone. Or if it is not honoring this support, it is not very strong support, but since the price action is in a way that it has shown a price rejection, so that's why we are saying that it might take a support from here, or otherwise the next target should be, the next support should be 25 point, around 25.25 region. So these are the two important levels for this stock to keep an eye on. And volumes are like has fallen down back to the normal average. So there is nothing to say about the volumes, high or low. It's like the same average average volumes there. Um, yeah, so downside price rejection we have seen. First hour of trading should be important to see what you need to to do here. If you want to buy, it's currently entering in the buying zone. So keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
There is another. Just one second.
Hmm.
Just go back to the chart.
Hmm.
There is a gap up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There is a gap up on April the 8th.
Yeah.
That gap has to get filled in,
Yeah. So if that
and
gap,
it is close to the gap,
right.
close to the gap level. So there is a very high probability it will come further down.
Yeah. So if that gap fills in this price
Then your
level,
buying price is 22.50 or
yeah.
23.
No, this 25,
If the
20.
25.
gap gets filled in, your
Yeah.
buying will shift to at 23,
You mean,
23 or 23.75. Yeah.
okay. Right. I was,
Yeah, this is also a good point, Vivek. So
yeah.
if the gap fills in, it's not only that gap level, then it may fall back further, seeking its next support, which is like 23.
Right. Right.
So buying would be at 23.50 with a stop of about 22.
Correct.
And that will be a good buying level.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll just quickly mention 23.70. Here we mentioned 25.25 and a stop of 22. Okay, so next is SU, which even Mohit has requested. Suncor, it is our favorite energy stock. So it's on uptrend, has touched almost 31, which is the weekly upper Bollinger Price, whereas it has 200 EMA at 32.85, and since the volume has not reduced, it can potentially go further up. So at this price level, I think it would be better to trail with stop loss and see if it gets resistance close to 32.5.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, so I was saying can trail with stop loss for target closer to 32.85. There's a gap down here, and the gap down close low was 32.93, and this 100 200 EMA is at 32.85. So this could be the next target if you are holding it. If it takes correction, maybe this 5 EMA, it might get support. So at this price, it looks good to hold with trailing stop loss. Vivek sir, Tahir, do you have any other comments?
It's you look at the MACD, it just turned green. 3 candles good turning green. I expect it to go further up. You go look at the weekly chart, you realize there's a gap down which has to be filled in.
Right. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Or the daily chart, sorry, or even the weekly chart. This gap has to get filled in. If this gap gets filled in, you are straight at 33.
Yeah.
33 and above, which is almost going to 40 and 45.
So those will be the next targets. Right?
Next targets. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And it's a very solid white Maribazu candle, if you ask me. The weekly candle is almost a white Maribazu. And taken out the recent resistances has been taken out on a closing basis, which was at 29.50. That has been taken out. Yes.
Yeah.
29.50 has been taken out conclusively. Your gap down, which was in March, in the March 18, this gap down. What is the high over there?
This one?
This one.
This
High
high?
is 30.19. That has also been taken off, conclusively taken care of. So the gap filling has now started. The high over here was 30.19. Today you are closing at 30.79 on a weekly basis. So the gap filling, the wick has already been filled in, plus gone further up. If you look at the close or the open of that candle, of this April candle, open, take it as the open. No, take it on the same candle, come down, come slightly down. No, come down. Come to the open of the candle.
This one?
Lower value. Come lower on the same candle, previous candle, next candle. Yeah. Come lower down. This is the close. Yes. This was at 26.95. This candle had opened at 26.95 and it went down, and the wick was at 30.19. Current price is 30.79. So even the wick has been covered, and the previous candle gap down is now being filled in. The previous candle to this, Kamal, to your left. Yes. Now this, the low was 32.93 and you are at 30.79. This gap is now getting filled in. Right? So which is the reason why. And if you look at it, your 5 EMA is crossing your 50 EMA. About to cross, has already crossed the 50 EMA. The 5 EMA has already crossed the 100 EMA. The 5 has already crossed the 100. That means it is now gaining strength and moving up. Your 50 has also crossed, your 20 has also crossed the 50. The orange has also crossed the light blue. That means the golden crossover has already taken place, which was in mid of April. Yes, at this level, the golden crossover has also taken place. So now it's showing you a very strong strength. The gap up filling process has started. The golden crossovers have taken place. EMA 5 is taking in. Your weekly candle is a white Marubazu, green Marubazu, which is a very strong candle. If you convert it to a daily chart, let's see what are the last 3-4 candles. See this? See this line? Lower lows, all maintained higher highs. The climb has just started off. averages, 30-day averages is being maintained. Sankar, I think, should go in for a bigger target. I don't know how we missed it. Kamal, you and I required to kick ourselves why we missed this chart after watching this chart for so many months.
Yeah, I think uh, when we analyzed, we were seeing it going downward.
Consolidating and going down. But yes,
Yeah,
but we should not have.
yeah, but it
I don't know
Forget
how
that
we.
this one. Yeah, this has, after consolidation, this was like it has given you a good return from 27 to 31.
yeah,
Like all 5 days were like green days
right. It got support here at just
for
28.5, around 28, and then it just rallied up.
10% almost. It has gone up.
Remember, we were talking about consolidation for a few minutes ago earlier.
Yeah,
Exact thing happening over here.
exactly the same. Yeah, the same upside rejection, and then the downside
Exactly the
is
same
the
thing happened.
consolidation. Yeah, exactly the same.
Right. Okay, so we'll take this as learning.
Yep.
Yes. Right. So SU we have said higher target. 33. Okay, next mm, we'll take one of these EV stocks among Neo, Expang, and Lee. All three of them are almost following similar trend. So from over 2 weeks, these EV stocks have taken the uptrend currently in over bought region. If you see in the weekly chart, it's the price is at the mid Bollinger Band, and that's why it has started facing resistance. It gave a small correction, got pulled up from the 5 EMA, which also happened to be the 100 EMA of $40, and then moved further up. So you can still expect it to go further up and get up at touch around 44, and then see if it gets resistance at around 44. If you see this 43.2 was also the resistance sometime towards the end of April, which could again become the resistance, or also depends on the volume. The volume has been decreasing, so we may expect again a resistance around 43, 44. So if you are holding again, this also a candidate for holding with trailing stop loss. However, if you have entered this for long term, it has higher potential, and the next target for longer term would be 54. So the first target could be 44 or 43.5, and I was saying 44 because of this previous peak. So 44, 45 would be the first target, and then next target could be 54 if you are holding for longer term, and if you are okay to hold even longer, then the third target would be above 60. And
Daily chart looks very promising
yeah,
because the 25 is crossed practically all the EMAs.
yes,
20 is crossing over the 200 EMA.
yes.
If 20 crosses the 200 EMA, again it will add more strength to it. Bollinger is adding favorable. It is expanding.
Right. So it looks good to hold for higher targets.
Exactly. And the weekly also giving you the same indication.
Yeah.
3 weeks of upward trend is giving you the same indication. It, the trend is reversing for an upward target.
Agree. And same would be for XPEB. We'll just quickly check. So you can see the similar trend. This is on weekly chart, on daily
Exactly
chart.
same.
Yeah. And if we see,
XPB is much more cleaner.
yeah, this
Much more cleaner.
5 EMA right from here, it has crossed all other EMAs.
And it's giving you a 45-degree growth angle of projection.
Yeah. Because when it went up last November, it had touched almost 74.5, and currently it is half of it.
5950, 5950 is very common over here. I would expect it. A 59 would very easily be possible. 58, 59. Yes, 58.
So it's a good hold for few months.
Yeah, but it will give
Also,
you a
if
good
you
return.
guys could quickly, also include to get back in, because for me, I'm out right now, and I'm really, really, really want to get back in because I've lost lots of money on these guys. Thank you.
Okay. So
Get back in, Nick, at this point is,
I think for getting back in, maybe Neo.
you are late.
Right. I was
For
in,
getting
but
back
then
in, you are late. Then
I
you
was
might as
in,
well
but
wait
then
for it to get back in at about 30. At
right.
30 or 30.5. That is where you would like to, I would like you to get back in. But I doubt it will give you a chance to get back in.
That's what it looks like right now. Yeah. It's a very steep incline from the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
It's a 45-degree clean rise. Not
Yeah.
even unlike the Neo.
Yeah.
XPV is giving you a very clean 45-degree angle rise.
It's like a sixer almost going up.
Absolutely. And a 45-degree rise will give you a very lengthy
Rally.
distance it will cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trajectory will be very, very long and well covered.
Thank you.
Yeah. Re-entry around 33 would be 33 or 32 would be risky. I mean,
Yeah, 32 would be risky. Re-entry would be around 30, 28, 30.
देखो क्या करती है.
Yeah.
That is
So
resigning yourself.
we might be looking at this chart and might be 45 in the next 10 days, and then like, okay, alvida.
Yes, alvida. There are some stocks which trouble you that way.
Yeah.
when you hold, then it keeps going down.
No, if you enter now, then stop loss.
Yeah.
Stop loss of previous day's closing.
Yes,
That
for a
is the
small.
only way. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Have a small loss, and then if it happens, it happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the way it is moving, there is a high chance it will go up. But again, if it starts going down, it will you
God
will be
help
like
you.
again a long time.
Yeah, 6 weeks ago, this guy was at $24, $23, and I sold a covered call just to make $600 on 1,000 shares at $29. So I sold the covered call for 29 because somebody just recommended, why don't you sell a covered call and make some money since you're losing so much? So I made $600 at 29. So, and now it's at 37. So that 1,000 would have gone up by $8,000.
God. That's life.
Yes, sir.
That's trades.
It's addition to learning.
Yeah, too much learning happening actually, and yeah, at a big cost.
Actually, the point is because I'm seeing the angle of 45, I'm getting more scared. We have very long haul upswing.
Uptrend. Yeah.
If you throw a ball at an angle of 45, it covers a maximum distance. That is what I'm expecting this to do.
Right.
Yeah. When it went down, it formed the
It
similar.
takes it takes a long time to also come down.
Yeah.
Look at the fall as Kamal is showing you. Takes a long time
Yeah.
to come
Yes.
down at an angle of 45. The same thing will happen over here.
And LI, same. LI and Xperi, these two and Neo, all three are Chinese EV stocks. Again, for re-entry around 21, 21, 20.5, 21. Are you looking to re-enter either of these three?
I can whichever can give gains. I can re-enter. Yes. Lee, I've got a little bit. I'm holding on to it.
Okay, then
But Neo
What's your
and
buying price for Lee?
sorry, sir.
What's your buying price for Lee?
I think the first 100 I bought around $50, sir.
Oof.
50.
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember the exact price,
Mhm.
And the
but yeah,
last
it was
price,
about
last buy?
last buy was at $22-3. But then I sell it and keep the balance.
So that's the wrong thing you do. When you're buying it at a low price, don't get rid of it so early because you're averaging it down.
Yeah, true. But 6-7 weeks ago, these guys were giving an indication that who knows what's going to happen with all three of them. They were
Exactly. I
like
agree.
dying.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah,
myself remember talking about 2 weeks back,
About Neo
talking
and
about
then
Mr. Musk using his company, running his company by Twitter.
yeah, exactly.
So that's the reason why. That's the reason why with Elon Musk and his products, keep them at a
Yeah,
pole's distance.
yeah. These are all Chinese EVs, but yeah, same products.
Exactly.
But yeah,
quoted.
Musk is extremely notorious.
Yeah. So that is the reason why. I mean, I keep him with a pole distance. Don't let him come near me.
Right.
Yeah. So again for this one, if you would like to add to your positions, maybe
21 or
yeah,
so.
yeah,
Yeah.
21.5. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Most
Well,
welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
so what's left with us now? Where are we?
We have these many. I'm thinking maybe we can cover.
I think we can. Yeah, we have how many of this stock from Mohit we have covered? Some of them I think we can take offline.
Maybe Mohit, if you would like us to analyze either of these quickly now, and then remaining I can analyze after this session. We have covered SU and FCEL.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Any of these you
Pick up Hiti and pick up Hiti,
High tide.
CGX.
Yeah, let's take
हिती
high tide.
हिती 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 ले लेते हैं ना एक बार.
yeah,
Yeah,
हाँ हाँ.
sure.
so that you can hit
Let's take.
us.
अरे
It's already hitting us
last
badly going down.
listen, last
Take
call,
the TSX.
after
Yeah,
last call I bought more हिती on Monday.
Same
Okay,
here.
so I'm more interested now. I wanted to match Vivek sir's position.
Don't do that.
Nick, you holding this?
luckily I didn't
I'm
add
holding it,
positions.
and I'm holding it in bulk, big bulk.
Okay. Okay, then
I'm
And
go
holding
ahead.
Hiti, I'm
ti-
holding LTE, and I'm holding LXG. All in bulk.
my LXC order didn't execute. I had
क्या
put
बात
at
कर रहा है?
Yeah, I had put at 0.45, I think. It was at
Hmm.
0.48 and then it turned up 26%.
Mhm.
Yeah, Hitty, I haven't added position, but I have the position. I didn't sell out as we were discussing. It could go up, but it
Yes.
ditched us and it started going down.
But Haiti now I've kept it at 1350 to sell off.
Yeah,
जब
same
आएगा
here.
निकल जाएगा.
Same here. That was the
1350 is my target.
right. That was the next target we had kept 13
Yes.
point. I reduced from 14 point something to 13.5.
Yeah, but all these things will come true only if it changes the trend. Right now, the trend is like the downward trend. It's going down.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, 13.3 is what I have kept.
That would be a reasonable, target for 13.3. But before that, we have to wait for this stock to change its trend. So downward trend, where the next support is. We go to daily chart to see the next support level.
So the next support is there's a strong support at 9.1 or 9. It's a strong support.
But
And
till it
before
reaches
that,
9, it will give us a huge loss. Those who are holding at the high price.
yeah,
Okay,
the next
still like
support,
wait till the support. Yeah.
yeah, the next small support is at here at 9.8, which is the mid
It
Bollinger
already
Band.
touched 9.95, I believe. The last day, if you go and check the
9.96.
stats, 9.96. Okay.
9.96, yeah. So
Here comes the guys who are list buyers. So they know the exact numbers. 9.96. Okay.
yeah, so
So, yeah.
9.8 is the next support, but it's not a
Mhm.
strong support. So we'll have to wait and see how it trades next week, whether it gets support here and reverses trend. But as of now, the
So it's
way it
falling
is,
down. So it will keep on falling down until it reaches its support level because every indicator is indicating so. Look at the volumes, look at the MACD, and all these indicators are showing a weakening strength of this stock. Prices are also falling down, and the candle before the last day was the logic candle. I was expecting it might turn up from here, being a decisive candle, but the stock continued its the same trend. So let it fall till its support, and from there we can hope this stock to come back again to its previous levels. So if we look at the weekly candle pattern, the weekly chart was like this week is like with upside rejection. Last week with green, and it's going. It seems like it's going alternate, red green, red green, red green. So it's sort of like a weird pattern, nothing to do with the next week, but seems like it is behaving as such. And on the weekly basis, it's like in a sort of like a consolidation state, moving sideways. So after this sideways pattern has been finished, so we are hoping the stock to go up based on uh, the news that it has been recently listed in the new in Nasdaq, and yeah, but it wasn't so much welcomed, I would say, in the first week. Can you open the Nasdaq one and see where the price is?
Tahir, just one
Mhm.
minute.
Yeah.
Kamal, just 1 minute. Tahir, if you look at the last
Mhm.
4 week candle, these are all higher lows.
Mhm. Yeah, I can see that.
Last 4 candles are all higher lows.
Yep.
Kamal, remove the crossbar completely so that the chart can be seen clearly without the crossbars. Just that's it. Leave it as it is. Now you'll see it. All the 4 candles are higher lows.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you look at it, also almost all the 4 candles are giving you a higher high. So that is what is actually giving me hope that possibly I should see a green candle in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I also see the next week may sort of like a green, like a red candle, or at least maintaining the levels of 9. And the week after, I have a hope that it will change the trend. So one more week, we have to be patient.
Yeah,
Am
that's
I the
okay.
only
That's
one
okay.
who
That's
is
the only
hearing
one
Tahir's
that
word
he
voice
confirms to me.
disrupted?
Yeah, there's some noise.
Okay, I'll go on mute then. Sorry, guys.
No,
No,
it's fine
like your
with it.
voice. Yeah, Tahir, your voice is not clear. Like it's disrupted.
Okay. I'll try to speak more louder and slower. Then maybe it can compensate.
Maybe if you could disconnect and connect again.
Yeah,
Okay,
first.
sure,
Yeah, that might
sure.
help.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Thanks.
अरे कमल सच सच बोला करो यार, नहीं सुनाई दे रहा तो बोलो या भाई, ऐसा क्या मतलब
ये बुरा नहीं
डिसरप्टेड
लगना
सुनने
चाहिए
में?
ना भाई.
अरे
I'm still there.
देख कोई बंदा अपने
अरे
लिए
सुन
गान
लिया
चूज
मैं.
कर रहा है, his opinion matters, and I
Yeah,
am
yeah,
really looking forward to hear him. Like I don't know last time when I heard Tahir, so I'm like इसकी आवाज नहीं
thank
सुनाई
you.
दे रही है.
Yeah, for sure. You guys can let me know whenever there's a noise or something like that. I will disconnect.
नहीं,
Tahir
but
bro, I'm all right.
Mohit,
Don't worry.
though his voice was being crackling up, but it was understandable.
हाँ वही है थोड़ा सा.
हाँ,
There was
ठीक है, it was
noise.
पर
cracking up
वो
slightly,
Yeah.
but
उनकी आवाज मिड
understandable.
बॉलिंजर पे ट्रेवल कर रही थी, मैं कहा लोअर पे जाए उससे पहले बोल दो.
Okay, guys, I'll leave that.
Nice, sir. Yeah, nice. Yeah, even I am hoping that it touches 13.3
Yeah.
because it's forming higher highs and
Basically, क्या है, higher lows है and even higher highs है. That is giving me hope.
right.
Plus the alternation between red and green candles. If next week is giving me green with a body of second last candle क्या है, body क्या थी? Second last की high and low
And low was
almost $2. So
1.5.
it should almost touch 12 or 12.2 next week. Sometime next week it should touch 12.2. Or agar, if we are favorable enough, we may be able to exit. So I think next 2 weeks, I think we should be able to exit this.
Right. That's correct. So Mohit, let's not increase the position. Let's hold.
बस वही है.
Take the Nasdaq chart if you want, no?
Nasdaq for Hiti?
अब chart तो वही होगी.
हाँ, same
Same thing. No? Same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe
Nasdaq will be,
बहुत लोगों ने maybe they book the profit and they exit it for now and they'll re-enter to see how it reacts in, like how it operates in Nasdaq, कैसा reaction होता है, and then they'll
possibly.
re-enter mostly maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, like
Yeah, people
there
who
are
would
big
have bought on TF.
there are big investors like Vivek sir, so they see the
I
market
love that
sentiment,
statement.
how it's gonna react
That's
in
music to
Nasdaq,
my ears.
and then they'll re-enter. Well, like, we'll buy it around 6 again.
Wait, that's music to my ears. Big investors.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Last week you confessed that your orders are bigger, so we.
I don't mind, but I'm not a big investor. Yeah. There are many more bigger people than me here. But yes, I admit I'm an aggressive investor.
ये
चलो.
क्या, ये कमल खून चखा के ना फिर चला जाता है साइड में. And then people like you, innocent people like you and I go in bigger positions.
We get involved and we get stuck up.
So because I exit partially, that's why I'm not that much in trouble. I think when I sold on 9.75 some position, but not on second. I was hoping on second it will go higher.
What was your average price, Kamal, if you don't mind me asking?
For Hitti, I think
Huh?
because we had bought at around 0.85 or something, so average price for mine was under 8.75 around 8.75.
That's
Point
perfect,
8
भाई.
होगा तो 12 का एवरेज होगा जरा.
8
मेरा
नहीं, my average
Point.
was my average was 8.75, so I would have bought even lesser maybe.
Then you must have bought it much lower.
Yeah.
Then you must have bought it around 0.5 or point or even only lower than that. or 0.6.
Possibly, but I still
So the
have based on
multiplication factor was 15. 15 का factor was multiplying factor.
सर अगर 0.5 हो गया ना, अगर रियली में कमल ने 0.5 पे बाई
नहीं
किया ना,
नहीं
हम
नहीं
डेफिनेटली, ये पक्का इनसाइडर ट्रेडर है, मैं बोल देता हूँ.
no 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 I am when I'm buying I'm sharing
So that is company in 7.5.
कहीं पे डायरेक्टर पोजीशन है फॉर श्योर.
hopefully जल्दी बनेंगे.
चलो, never mind. Next stock कर ले.
हाँ, so let's take LXG.
LIG और LT कुछ भी ले लो यार, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
LT के बारे में तो कोई भी पूछता है तो मैं कहता हूँ लॉन्ग टर्म एंगेजमेंट है ये.
Long term?
एंगेजमेंट.
ये तो मैं मेरे पूरे पोर्टफोलियो के बारे में बोलता हूँ. आई एम अ लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर. बीच में तो मैंने ऐप भी अनइंस्टॉल कर दिया था मेरा ट्रेडिंग का.
Okay, it's going down again and 0.21 was the low. It could be touching 0.21 again if you are looking to average down or increase your position. I have been in this since long. I'm still hoping because of COVID, the way it has impacted this business, that's why it's down. So hope sometime once the business is open, then we might see it spike again the way it had spiked around this time. So for increasing, maybe at around 0.21, we can think of increasing the position again.
I keep buying the stock at 0.2 and getting out at 0.4 or 0.24 or 0.245.
That's nice. So almost 8 to 10%. No, 25%. 20-25%.
काफी है यार.
Yeah.
2-3 दिन में मिल जाए काफी है.
2-3 दिन में. Mohit, now you know whom to track.
तो उनको भी ट्रैक करके मेरा लॉस ही है. वो तो वो फट से एकदम बड़ा पोजीशन जितना लौट आता है वो ले उठा लेते हैं. क्या करने. It's difficult to match him. But yes, follow for sure.
Don't do that.
तभी तो that's why I was saying even Tahir's voice was interrupting. मैंने बोला भाई उनको बोल दो कि उनकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है. So this way I could hear his analysis as well.
Right.
चलो.
AP has commented about reverse split. Oh, you are talking about Hitty? It's a better way to exit right away. His question was whenever reverse split
I think
announced,
it is a general question.
is it better to exit right away?
Uh, if you are in loss, I think average down is better thing because after reverse split is announced, it generally drops by 50%, and there is no way that you can book that much of loss.
Right.
Very true.
Before I think we also need to consider why a company will do a reverse split.
No, I am in a what you say spot like I have CTRM with me, and my buy was around 44 cents, and then the company announced reverse split like 10:1, and now the price of that stock is around $3. So there is no way that I can exit like book loss on that. So now I'm holding it, or I can think of averaging down.
Normally if we talk about this, let's talk about a little bit on the split. When a split is announced, let's say back like 8-10 months back when Tesla announced split.
Yeah.
The reason for that was like the stock was like reached above like 1600 at that time, and then it announced split, it touched 2200 or something like that. So it was like highly valued. So it was not in the reach of each and every customer, each and every investor. So they dropped it down to so that the price is more attractive. So this is one of the reason of split. Now, if we talk about the reverse split, it what it happens here that you have, for example, 10 stocks, they will 10 is to 1 means that 10 stocks will merge together and you will have one instead of that, and the price will ideally should be the same as you had before, ideally. So the reason why it happens sometimes, like in the stock exchange where you are listed, if your price has fallen down sharply and you are actually at a risk of getting delisted,
Yeah.
so they do announce the reverse split so that you still remain listed and the risk is gone away. So normally why the price has gone so down that you are like at the verge of getting delisted, maybe there's some serious concern on the fundamental basis. That's why
Oh,
your price
okay.
is so
Talking
long.
about CTRM, it is
Hmm.
actually a
Hmm.
shipping stock which was
Hmm.
heavily hit by what you say, the COVID. And now in
Yeah.
between they started showing some strength. And again, I don't know what happened. Again, it was going down. I luckily I had exited 50% of my position when
Hmm.
it went to around 1.2 or 1.5,
Hmm.
and whatever now I have is the 50% remaining.
Yeah, I think we discussed this stock like few months back as well. I
Yeah,
remember that. Yeah, the same. The COVID, they were badly hit by that COVID impact, and so I'm
yeah,
just making a general comment here because the question was like
yeah,
a
yeah, you're
general
right.
one, not
Yes,
related specifically to any particular stock. So reverse
right.
split. So there might be serious concern on why the company is doing a reverse split. On the other hand, if like there is a split, the company is announcing split, and as we have seen in Tesla, and there was another stock who announced the Apple at the same time announced the split at around the same time. So both
Right.
stock, they went
They
up.
started going up. Yes.
Yeah, for 15 1600 Tesla, it touched like 2200 before a day of split, and
That's
same the
right.
Apple did the same. So when the split is going up because there's a positive sentiment with that attached
That's
to that.
right. Yeah.
And if we talk about the reverse split, to my knowledge, I don't see any huge positive sentiment attached to it. Maybe it's a neutral or negative.
Yeah.
So, and you have also, Vivek, observed this in your case in CTRM.
Yeah.
So, my general answer, keeping other things constant, there is no other news. I would say if the company is at the verge of, announcing the reverse split, we should consider exiting it.
Right.
That's my take from this.
Okay.
That's very, very true. On the contrary, when you have a
Mhm.
split, the
Yeah.
split by various companies is also normally announced to bring liquidity into your stock. Minute
Yep.
you split your current stock, which you are doing very well, you are splitting it so that you are inviting retail investors
Retail
to come
investor.
and
Yeah.
invest in the company. So which makes it lucrative. So instead of buying a stock at about $500 or $400, you can buy it for about $100 if I'm splitting it 1:5.
Yeah. Apple.
Right.
Just exactly the
Right?
same
So
numbers.
that is what is the general trend. But reverse split is a negative issue.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Down to the last 1 minute.
yeah, so and AP has also made a small phrase it like upon split means buying and upon reverse split selling. Can we remember
Very,
this
very well.
as a
Very
simple one
aptly
liner?
comprehended.
Great. Okay, so I think maybe we will analyze the rest of the stocks offline. I'll put the analysis maybe Vivek sir and Tahir. So if you are free, you could help in analyzing the stocks which are requested here and we couldn't cover in the session. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Mohit, is that okay with you? Because I see we were not able to cover most of your stocks.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, I was asking Mohit, is that okay, or would you want us to finish some of your requested stocks? Because I see most of your stocks we couldn't finish analyzing.
How many stock we are left with, Kamal, other than Mohit's ones?
So these,
AMC, NAKD, I think we have done NAKD.
no, not yet.
No, what's it, NVDA? So three stock from
Those are my
Vivek.
stocks. You can skip that, not a problem.
So actually we are left with, I'm just counting the total number. 3 from Vivek, Nitya 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from Nitya, 2 from Abhijit. So take 3 from Nitya, 2 from Vivek, 2 from Abhijit, and if we have time left, then we can take 1 or 2 stock from Mohit again. So how many we have covered from Mohit? HITI, FCEL, LTE, 3 covered.
Yeah, let's take one LXG and
Oh,
then
sure.
we can
Okay, yeah. So we can
If
take
you
4
want,
1
I
and
can talk about ZNSA.
okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure. So
ZSAN.
Okay, we'll take that then.
LXC, right. So LXG we discussed last week. It was around 0.48 something, and then we had suggested that it's at a buy price. But I think looking at the weekly chart, I had set buy price at 0.45 and it didn't execute, and the next day it gave around 26% up. So Mohit, if you um, were you able to manage to enter? I think even your order didn't execute, right? Buy order.
I have it already.
Oh, great,
I'm holding it.
great. So good that at least you were able to enter. And looking at
Okay,
the,
but what is your target price, man? If you entered, are you in profits? There
Target
is
price 30% profit. That's it. ज़्यादा लालच नहीं.
very, very good, very.
excellent. So no question about what value he is targeting.
Or I'll keep the stop loss and then let it grow.
Yeah. So
One of the other.
yeah, I think we had discussed target of 0.80 because it was showing
Hmm.
the 200 EMA, 100 EMA were closer to
Yeah.
0.77, 0.82.
Last 2 days closing is not encouraging because this is a sell-off after a huge spike. Then the next day downside price rejection. Okay, and the other day upside rejection. Then again upside rejection. So these two candles are like not very encouraging, I would say.
So
Is upside price rejection on last 2 sessions. Seems that there is a sell-off after a huge rise or 3 days back.
mhm.
So now seems people are selling off and price pushing the price down. On the other side, there are the buyers as well who are keeping the price, at zero point 0.6. So it's not falling down from zero point 0.6. So if this price falls below zero point 0.6, this is not honored, and then you might see, the price falling down sharply. Well, that's my thought, because if we ignore these 3 candles, these 3 days, look at the pattern. The stock was in a downward trend on
Right.
the closing basis, and now if it goes up, this can be said, okay, this is upward shift. The last 2 candles are not encouraging in my view. Volumes are also going down, which is normal. Like when there is a sharp increase, the next day you will see that people will sell off the stock, and that's the reason a huge green candle, the buying area, and the next day people sold this stock because of this. This was was down till zero point 0.6. Then people bought it again, went a little bit up, and the next 2 days were, like, I would say, the pure sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off. And then people are still hopeful for this stock to go up. Zero point 0.6 there seems to be a support, temporary one though. If this is my point is, if zero point 0.6 is broken, then we might have to reconsider our positions. Either we sell off, or we become a long term investor.
Right. So Mohit, if your average is lower than 0.60, maybe you can consider, based on what Tahir suggested and what I can interpret, is maybe you can consider to exit and then re-enter again.
if
Uh,
0.6 is broken. If not, then you continue with your trade.
so a stop loss at 0.59. Here it was 0.59 was the low for this week.
So even
Most
lesser than that.
most stocks I invested in, my aim was also just like Mohit, 20%, 30%, but they've become my life partners now.
Guys, don't marry a stock.
It's
Don't marry
forced
them.
marriage.
No, yeah, exactly. No, I've done some divorces too, but then no, it doesn't leave a very good taste.
But
I'm just
divorce
talking about
hurts, yeah.
stock. Otherwise,
The better,
I'm only
the
been married
better
once.
solution is,
Okay,
Nick, the
that's
better
good to know.
solution is don't expect 30%, take 20,
10%.
25% and say thank you very much.
Sir, I take any like 10%, and I sometimes get out too. I
That's good
was,
enough.
yeah,
That's good. That's good.
That's good enough.
10% also, it's on the higher side. Like
yeah,
those
Yeah.
guys
exactly.
who trade in these stocks like 0.6, I mean, stocks less than $1, even if you
Yeah,
get 3%, 4%, that will be good because you will have like huge volume, and then the
yeah,
volume is high and the frequency will be more. So you can
yeah.
Tahir,
multiply
if you look at
3%.
a stock like LXG, if you look at a stock like LXG,
Mhm.
a 5 cent movement is a 10% movement.
Yep.
So,
A
so,
5 cent
I'm sorry
movement
I
is a
interrupted
10%
again, and
movement.
I'll get out. I'll get out as soon as possible. But what does this company do? I mean, it's got 150,000 shares trading in a day. That's like $100,000 of shares. Is it safe company? What does it do?
That's exactly why I said it is not worth picking up because it's a very low volume.
Yeah,
Yeah. Volumes are low.
yeah.
Sometimes, what happens, like these stocks are figured at GMT channel. People keep it, and then one day you'll say, okay, 50% jump, 70% jump, or that's why maybe you hear people saying that 30% key, then they will sell off. So there have been like few stocks in the past which have shown this sort of trend that they are like they were sleeping for a while, and then one day they woke up and they saw, okay, it's like 50% jump. So few people in our group that I have
Including
seen,
me.
yes, he is a champion. So they keep on, they hold these stocks for a while, little
Hmm.
quantities spread across like 5, 6 scripts, and then one day they will sell it off, and then they will share a screenshot. Okay, 50% jump, and everyone will say, okay, wow,
Right,
very good,
right.
happy, congrats, and all that. So this is like one part. What we can do, like normally I don't trade in penny stocks, so that's my view.
Yeah,
But Kamal, he seems to be an expert in these stocks, but they can give you sometime a good return. So for me, I tried doing it, but it didn't suit me. So maybe like it doesn't match my trading strategy. So I
yeah.
never traded that again. So it depends upon person to person what you want
Sure,
to do. And to your
absolutely.
question, yeah, to your question, what this company does, yeah, valid question because it seems to be very low volume and all that. So normally it's the case for all companies which are like below below $1 or below zero point 0.5, so
Hmm.
something like that. So almost a similar trend in all. So it depends upon you. Like you are trading in shop, like okay, you're trading in Tesla. So these sort of things might not be very attractive for you. Depends
Right,
upon your own personal trading strategy as well, I would say.
right. Great.
Yeah, another thing is like what we can do, just a thought. uh, for example, you are a trader who normally doesn't follow this penny stocks and all that, but sometimes you see your other fellow members are having a good return in the penny stocks, and sometimes
Right.
it is an urge, say, okay, why I should also do that. So what you
Yeah.
can do just
Invest
to
$10,000
yeah,
and maybe make five. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, just to satisfy your wish, allocate like 10% of your portfolio to the penny stocks, and
Hmm.
remaining 90% play wherever you want. So that 10%, if it is suiting you in future, increase to 10 from 10 to 15 and so on. So, but don't go for like 100% or 50%
Yeah.
in penny.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
So
That's a
Good.
very good
Good
suggestion,
advice.
Tahir.
Thanks.
Okay.
That's a very good
Yeah,
suggestion.
he's right.
yeah. So as
Good
Tahir
piece of
mentioned,
advice.
yeah,
Thank you, guys.
it varies from person to person. And for my trading strategy, penny stocks works for me more. Means most of my gains come from penny stocks because I buy and as Tahir had mentioned earlier, I buy and hold. I sit on it until I get the return I'm expecting. So whenever I enter these kind of stocks, I expect at least 50% 80% return. And like I think we had discussed last week also, if I would have entered this at 0.50, I would have expected at least 60% return because I was targeting 0.80. And I don't mind exiting until it reaches 0.80. So whether it takes 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, I don't worry about it. If it drops lower than my average price, I keep adding to my quantity. So when it
Hmm.
goes up, let's say initially when I would enter first time, I might enter this in 2K quantity or 3K quantity.
Hmm.
So if I buy, let's say 2K at the price of 50 cents, it it would be around $100, right?
Right.
And
Kamal, at the end of the day, it's not about investing more money. It's about making profit. So if you're
right,
doing that, kudos to you.
yeah,
Like, what sense does it make for someone to invest like $500,000 or $1 million and then end up losing a lot of money, right? No sense.
Yeah.
Better है ना 10,000 invest करो $1,000 तो बनाओ सही तरीके से manage करो.
yeah,
You're
right,
right. We can have a separate session on, managing the portfolio or managing your capital because that is your hard-earned money.
Yeah.
There's another concept to look at is like Kamal says, like he keeps on adding up and then waits for like months, 2 months or 3 months in few of the stocks. Like I share a little bit different view. Like as I previously mentioned, everyone has its own like strategies. So it depends upon you what works best for you. So I have like little different strategy of how I see the things instead of like holding my capital like for 3 months, I will book a loss and then I will reinvest that in some other stock and then instead of like 3 months, I will recover in like I would say a month and then 2 months are
Sure.
free.
Sure. Makes
So
sense
like
too. Yeah.
different ways of looking at the things. For example, let's say like this stock is like 3 months you invested for example $10,000 and let's assume that it's a borrowed funds. So you are $10,000, you are paying interest of $1,000. So even if you earn profit, so $1,000 will be gone. Although it was like your own money, but just consider it from the opportunity cost point of view. So like
Yes.
there are many different ways at looking at the things, but still at the same time, I would say don't like look from many different angles, you will complicate it. So
True.
Yeah.
make up your rules and then follow those principles, even if you are not making 100% out of it. But this is not a definition of being a successful trader. Yeah, you make 100%. You should be consistent and you should be following that rule that you have made it yourself. Even sometimes you have to uh, take a little bit loss on that, but still follow that because the more you practice that strategy, that trend, in future you will build on it and your skills will be developed and your the ratio of win to lose trades will be will be
Keep
higher
on
and
getting
that will
better.
be
Yeah.
rewarded in future. So that's
Sure.
a sort of like a practice, and then you will see one day you will have a good ratio. Even like those guys who are like Vivek himself, like he is like for them in our group, he's I mean the most experienced trader, I would say, without any doubt. So even ask him if some of his trades also goes bad. So it happens.
Sure.
So but being the ratio, I would say his ratio of win to lose will be much higher than others. I would say from mine, yeah, for sure, his ratio is much higher. So not sure about the others, but yeah, but I can say with certainty. So develop your own set of rules and then follow those closely. We can have like some sort of sessions on this
Sure.
going forward to see how we can trade and some sort of rules something with that. I think we have a small video with the name rule based trading strategy. Maybe come and sometimes share that in the group, and people who are interested can just quickly have a few minutes watch on that.
Great.
yeah, sure, I
Okay,
can,
Please
guys,
do.
yeah,
please.
I can share that
Thank you.
with
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
I'll just be taking आपकी इजाजत. I have to give someone a ride. So
Sure,
take care,
sure,
guys.
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Take
much.
Thank
care.
you.
yeah,
Enjoy
Thank you
your
very
Thank you,
weekend,
much.
sir.
sir.
Have
Weekend.
a good weekend.
yeah.
You sure.
You
Bye bye.
too. Bye.
Okay, so let's take uh, one from Vivek. Which is the one Vivek you said
Yeah,
SNDL
I'm okay
and
with
equity?
any. I don't have any position in any.
Oh, you're not.
I've already exited all. Naked I had. I
Okay.
exited. Luckily, I got a chance to sell it at a buy price.
Mm-hmm.
So I just exited that the day it rallied.
Great.
So I'm happy with that.
Cool. So we'll, since you have requested, we'll take BlackBerry because
Yeah,
few
BlackBerry you
members
can, I guess.
are trading with BlackBerry. Vivek sir,
हाँ जी,
आपका फेवरेट स्टॉक है सर?
मेरा फेवरेट स्टॉक है ये।
सर ने रेडिट को ही फॉलो किया.
Yes. So last week, because of hype on the Reddit, it spiked, then has dropped. Again, it all depends how much hype is there next week. The technicals don't follow much on the stocks which are being discussed in the Reddit.
Yeah.
We
No,
we
buy this stock only at around 11, not before that. 11 or even a 10.
10.8511. Right.
10 would be a better price to buy. 10 will easily come.
Yes.
I really don't understand how people calculate the upper target. Someone was saying 100K for AMC and
I
around.
know it's easy if you are directly linked with the company. Then you can say 100 or you can say 200. Or like most likely the brokers will say, for example, those who I'm not very sure how it works around here, but back in our countries I would assume that in India also it would be the same. You are connect to the broker and you say, okay, take this stock, it will like currently at 100 it will go to 400. So he is asking you to buy and buy more, and he is like just making his own profits. So never solely rely on them, I would say. Even if
Yes,
guys, if you follow any technical report or any analyst report, so just keep on reading it. For them, one day you read that report, okay, it's a strong buy, you bought it, and then again you never look back at it. The next day the analyst changes rating, and now
Yeah.
you're still on the strong buy side and holding it.
Yes. Motley Fool is a good example.
Yeah, it happens like
Yes.
to many of us. So firstly,
Yeah.
the first take is don't solely rely on that. Do you some sort of own due diligence as well. Ask like multiple people, and what your own instinct says based on your some working, not just on
Right.
your
Right.
wish. And then track it again as well. What other analysts are saying on the next day and the day after. So market is like volatile. The ratings can change.
Right, very true.
Okay, yeah. What you were saying
Thanks.
here?
Yeah. So, as Vivek sir said, the buy for BlackBerry should be around $11. Do you see?
Mhm.
Do you have any different opinion?
Yeah, it's a sell-off. Yeah, I would say the same. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay,
So
so
we'll take couple from Nitya and yeah.
FD knock. Let's talk about FD. FD has been a favorite stock for our group.
Vivek sir, are you holding a CGX or you
I am
haven't
holding
sold?
FD
Okay.
and CJX I'm trying to enter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching to enter.
Okay. Yeah, for FD, I think it would be a good
Can you add
buy.
RSI? Can you add RSI
Yeah, let me add
instead of
some.
CCI? I think we're not. You can
It's
remove CCI if you want, or
that
just add.
the trend. What?
Yeah. We have it's RSI also on Webull.
Yeah, yeah, it would be there.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay. Yeah. So RSI and CCI I have seen trend is same. It's just the range is different.
Hmm.
Right. So I was saying because it formed a red candle on the last session and looking at the support, uh, buy around $15, 15.10 or 15 looks a good buy for FD.
Zoom out.
it has dropped from 60 to 13, and now it has started.
Yeah, 15 can be a safest region.
So with
Yeah, it was consolidating for a few sessions that shown a little bit spike, a little bit, not more than again the red candle, which is not encouraging. If it was like green candle again, so we might have said okay, the uptrend has resumed. But this red candle is like confusing, maybe because of the Friday close of the week sell-off thing. It can, if it continues, if it's from the green candle, we can say that it is an uptrend because it is coming out of a consolidation channel. That's what I see here. And RSI also has a space above. It's at 50. At 50, it's like sort of a neutral thing. Above 50 is considered as an uptrend normally. So the next, if it is in the coming session, it is staying above 16.15 or 16.6, I would say. This would be assumed as a continuation of the uptrend. Or if it's for continuing the same sell-off pattern as of Friday, then 15 should be a buy area. Well, recently it has came out of a consolidation. If you go back and see the resistance from previous trend, it was touching these levels, little bit up, little up. Yeah, this one, 18.5 or 18. So it has a little bit room above. So 16.5 to 18.5, $2 you can have. So yeah, around 10-12%. Yep, 10-12% capacity is there, I would say. So buying around 15 can be a good idea. But if you're not able to catch up at 15, 16.5 is also not bad for like around 10% gain. But this will happen only if the Mondays are green, then we can say this one Friday may be a sell-off due to a week closure. And yeah, that's it. Because the opening was around the same level where it closed on the previous session,
right.
and then sell off, and it went down. Previously, it was in an uptrend. So watch on Monday. Either it is falling down, then 15 should be a buying price. Or if it is going up, then see if it stays up above 16.5. Or I would say if I talk about the pivot point here, roughly would be 16.25. So if it stays above that pivot area, then it should be a buy from there as well.
Okay. Thanks, Tahir. So next we'll take. I think Mara was also
Let's take from
requested.
Abhijit.
Yeah. Uh, I was thinking Mara was also requested by Mohit and
Mohit, okay, yeah.
so
Let's
let's.
take Mara.
So Mara is it's going
Zoom
sideways.
out. Zoom out, please.
Yeah, it's been trading sideways. If you see, it's been in this channel. Ever since it formed a green candle and RSI and CCIR have turned up, it could go up to 28.5. Previous
Where is the support? Next support.
the next support is at 21, close to 21.
Previously, when it started falling down, it didn't honor its support. If we look at the curves that it has formed, look at the shape of the curve. It's not honoring its first support levels and then forming a new lows.
So, do you think it can?
I wouldn't go into this stock. I mean, for the fresh entry.
Right.
Fresh entry at this point, I would say no, until it goes back to this 19.6
Mhm.
where your cursor is at right now.
Right, right. So I also have the same
So then
analysis.
C at 19, it is taking support.
Yeah, this stock is heavily
If we
dependent
draw,
on Bitcoin price
Mhm.
because it is a
It's very,
mining stock.
Okay.
So if
so
the
yeah,
Bitcoin price goes up, this will go up. If it goes down, this will fall drastically.
yeah, and you see, it's not honoring the supports.
Yeah,
It's falling down and down. If you draw a trend line, a diagonal trend line, you see the diagonal trend line. It goes. It won't come here. It should be a drawing, but yeah, the top one.
Trend line.
Yeah.
Yeah, this trend line. It's okay. We can analyze it uh, verbally here. It's very obvious. So it's a downward channel. It's falling down and down. So
Okay.
19.9, wait for that. If it is honored, if not, then it will fall back from here. So if you get a good chance to exit, you can exit as well.
Right.
Okay, and the volumes are like negligible these days.
Yeah.
No volumes.
Volume has just suddenly disappeared.
True.
Yeah.
So if it
Yep.
continues downtrend by around 19, and if you are currently holding, then exit around 28.5.
Yeah, fresh entry are not
Around,
recommended in this
yeah,
stock
that's correct.
at this point, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, and we'll take
From Abhijit, take EH.
SEH. Okay, so EH has on the breakout, it has broken previous resistance and gone above the 100 EMA price as well. Touched it formed a high at 36.8,
That high is at the resistance.
and
Yes.
yes,
Okay, I would say sell off. The next day you will experience a sell off, and if we go back and see the previous trend, wherever it has formed this such a big green candle on our left side, so I can spot one, and then the next day was a red candle. I can spot two as well. Again, yeah, on the right side to this big red candle, there's another green candle and then red candle as well. So there seems to be a sell-off on the next day, and this is like common for most of the stocks. So there was a huge rise, and the next day there was a sell-off. So you can see as sell-off in the first hour. There will be a selling pressure, and after that maybe more investors get attracted at the lower prices, and it might bring the price up again, and it is indicated from the last closing session as well. There's an upside price rejection, although there was a huge spike, but still with the price rejection, so which would mean that there will be a sell off. The sell off pattern will continue on the next day. So if you profit, book the profit, and you can again buy maybe on the same day at the lower levels when the stock has shifted its trend from the low price. So it can again give you a chance to re-enter.
right.
The first hour you may see a selling pressure in the stock.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
think yeah
think
we have covered. Yeah,
yeah, I think with that we have covered almost all. There's one last Vivek Krishna has requested, and this will
SNGX
yeah
enter 1.03.
this will take it as the last stock for the day.
Okay,
SNGX SNGX hashtag. He's saying that he has entered at one.
1.03. Hold it, man. Hold it. It will go. It will go up.
Yeah, and
It
there's
has a
a
potential. Given the RSI is like trending upward, and there's a space above. Volumes are like consistently on an average basis, and the upside just go down, little bit down, to see that there's a upside price rejection on the red candle 5 days before, 7 days before. Left, yeah, this one. What is the height of this one? The
it's
higher end?
1.16.
1.16. Yeah, that 1.16 can be an immediate resistance. If it is broken, the next one is the same that you were pointing out before, 1.24, 1.25. it needs to break out 1.16, and then 1.25 will be the next one.
Also, the gap at on 7th of May has to be closed.
Right.
Yeah, so this will be closed by 1.25. Yeah.
The closing process will start now, and target of 1.6 is very evidently clear. 1.58, 1.6.
Yeah, the first target
maybe
can be
if
around 1.25.
Oh, first target is 1.25,
Yes.
1.26. But immediate target after that is the 1.6 or
Yes.
1.5.
1.5.
Depends on how long you want to hold.
Naturally, depends.
So if he has
But
bought
if
at
he bought
1.
it at 1.3,
Yeah.
he bought at 1.3, he bought it almost before the gap down.
Or maybe somewhere here he would have bought recently.
No, 1.3. He could never have bought it here.
1.03.
0.3.
1.03.
1.03.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he's
sorry.
already in little profit.
He's in profit.
Sorry. Then he bought it recently, which is a very
Yeah,
good buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good. That's why I said on
It's a
spot
good buy to
you
hold.
need to hold.
Yeah.
Hold it. It will give you some good money
So
because your buying is good. Whenever you are you're trading a stock, the first thing is you have to consider your buying price. Selling will automatically be at a good price. So if you have bought at a higher price, then you want to sell it even at a higher price, so that is like a question mark to think over it, because your first step was not up to the mark, I would say. You bought at the wrong price. So even if, and other important thing is, like, you don't need to trade every day. You don't need to trade in each and every opportunity. Just wait for it, and then when the time comes, trade it in a big quantity, in a good quantity, wherever you are like sure, and then sell it off at a good price. You will be in a better off position rather than you are like fishing every day. You're getting small fishes every day, and then one wrong trade will wipe all the profits. So wait for it. Like in this stock, I think he has rightly waited for a good price and enter at a right price, I would say, given the circumstances, and then you can sell it off at a good profits. So yeah, that should be the strategy.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Agree.
Okay, guys, I think
True.
we're done with our today's call, and if some of the stocks are left, we can take that offline. But mostly we have covered all of them, and yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot, and thank you for being with us for like 3 hours. Those guys who stayed till like 3 hours or more. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you all and have a
Thank you,
nice day
Tahir. Thank
trading.
you,
Thank you,
Kamal.
Kamal,
Yeah.
Vivek, another
Thank you,
Vivek,
Aditya. Thank
and
you, Vivek.
Aditya.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah,
Thank you, everybody.
enjoy your weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye bye.